Did you click it?
The upper right button. The one that's now red.
On air? We're on air?
We should be on air.
We're on Toby right now because he's being a good boy.
I saw that. I was okay with being on Toby. And our mic is live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, good afternoon.
Good morning.
It's officially afternoon.
Okay, fine. It's officially afternoon. But no one's in the chat yet, so...
I need to make that bigger. Here.
Right. 5 viewers. Hey, people are starting to tune in. Welcome to the Toby Licks His Arm channel. For 2 hours, we're going to be watching Toby sit on his bright blanket and just lick his arm. His sweater actually says bark. It's not just arc. But he's being a good boy, and he's the one that isn't barking. Meanwhile, Bruno is absolutely the bark monster that he always is.
Demanding attention.
Demanding attention. And oh, look, the microphone is in shot. So I suppose I probably need to move that. Sorry, Bruno, your head's getting obscured by a microphone.
Okay. Do you think if we put him down?
Maybe. I don't know. He's gonna lick me. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get out of this with clean glasses.
No. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good morning!
Wake up.
Wake up! No, I can't sing that song.
It's Monday afternoon.
It is Monday afternoon. Hello, it's Monday afternoon for us. I'd like to say welcome to our live stream. Hi, I'm Odin, and welcome to Odin Makes, and this is my weekly Monday live stream, or I really should say this is our weekly Monday live stream. Because Felicia's once again joining me. Thank you very much. and I appreciate it because you were kind of a big part of it. It's like, hey, we should do a live stream on Monday because I got the day off. It's like, okay, let's do it every week. So
yay for having a day off.
Yay for having a day off.
Yes, and then we have Bruno. Toby and Bruno with us. Bruno.
Right. Bruno's here, being a bruiser, with his good side towards the camera.
And then we have Toby here with us also. He's licking his butt. So good morning.
Welcome to the Dog Butt channel.
There we go.
But we will be continuing. So for the first time with this whole Witcher build that we've been doing, I actually did a little bit of work off camera. Not a whole lot, but a little bit of work off camera. I got, this is the packet full of chainmail, but somewhere around here, I said it now, oh, here it is. I got a little tiny bit more done on the chainmail piece. And this still represents...
Guess how many pages it took to make this?
You're right. How many pages it take to make this? But I will tell you that this was about 2 hours to put together, to get all that up to that point. Now, granted, part of that was realizing partway through, because I was distracted watching TV while doing it, I had to back up because I left the thing out. I went from 10 rows to 9 rows. It's like, why is this crooked? And I finally saw it and backed out of it.
Yeah, that happens a lot while knitting.
Right, so then I tried to pay more attention.
Yeah, you can see kind of just the staggering.
Yep. But this is the foam chainmail from Foam Armory. This is the stuff that Ben Eady was nice enough to send us. And this is the same stuff that he had on Tested.com when he was showing it to Adam Savage. This is some really cool foam chainmail. And the whole reason we're doing Witcher is because we got to package this. What are we going to do with it? And that made sense because if we hadn't have messed it up, we probably would have had just about enough to do most of the costume. But now I'm starting to think maybe we didn't because this is more than I think we started with.
We could have, but it wouldn't be as good.
So I'm sorry that Bruno's barking.
Yeah, he wants to be back up on the table. Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
But anyways, we also got the Grommets.
Well, also the Grommets came in. I ordered, there's a little small box down here. Because we use 6mm foam, plus the layer of vinyl on top of it makes it more like a 7mm foam, or 7mm thickness. The standard wide 5/16 grommets weren't going to fit, and they're not going to work. So the one style that I could find online that wasn't ordering them by the 1,000. Did they tape it?
Yeah, they put a piece of tape over.
Oh, good for them.
It's well secure.
Well secure packaging. Anyway, it only comes in this nickel color, so it's not the nice dark metal the other one was. I think we're all just gonna have to live. But they do have magnets that I ordered, and they do have they are a longer necked grommet or eyelet, and I'm hopeful that they're going to work.
Well, where's the clamshell?
Clamshell is behind the camera. I needed to move it for...
Oh, I see it. Okay, I'll go grab it.
All right. Then the other thing they had that I picked up, this was a, what was it, golden supplies, golden fasteners, extra long eyelet, and the company's golden something or other. They also had these are actually really strong. These just bar magnets for closures, and these are way stronger than I thought they'd be.
Were you thinking those for Among Us?
No, just in general. I've got a small selection of magnets that I've used for different things. Like one of the things we talked about doing that didn't happen, that we should have done, was making this helmet split in half. So this was last week's video. It's all painted and finished now. And a big part of the new cinematic is they break the helmet, right? They're finally eliminating this helmet from their world. So the heroine, she grabs the helmet and breaks it in half, saying, no, it's too much power for anyone to have, so no one's going to have it type of a thing. I wanted to put magnets in it so that would actually split in two, because initially in the cinematic it splits in two. Ultimately it's in like 4 or 5 pieces, but when she's first breaking it, visually it's just 2. That's what I wanted to do. I thought it'd be more fun, but yeah, no time. Did not budget myself enough time for this project.
Right.
For that.
But that's one of those things that you're finished now. You can always go back and add.
Right. It's not like I haven't broken a prop before. So, hello everyone. We have yet to acknowledge the chat. Probably should do that.
What did you do with the ones from last week? The grommets from last week?
The grommets from last week are in the little orange and black Tupperware case.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. Oh, hey, hi, howdy. Hi, Odin. Hello, Greg the Dopey Dope. Hey, Nicole's in the house. Jack Smith, how's it going? Janice says Bruno's adorable.
Yeah.
And more people are happy with sweet dogs. Bruno is adorable. He's just vocal. And he's just, little dog syndrome.
Oh, I love how people are like, no, Bruno's the best. And then they get to know him and they're like, yeah. Bruno's Bruno. All right.
Oh, Vincent's watching from Chicago. Music video freak. Have you made any South Park props? I actually have not made any South Park props that I can remember. No, not for my channel.
What would
and
you
I
make
don't
if you could?
think I made any for Smosh because I don't remember doing any.
Yeah.
What? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's fairly mundane or normal things, or there's a few things that are special. I've seen a number of cosplays of Butters' aluminum foil superhero.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name right now.
That was, oh yeah. I know it too. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I mean, there's Awesemo, but
No.
that's not it. No, but there's another.
Yeah,
thing.
he's the evil guy.
Right.
No, it's gonna, they'll tell us.
They'll tell us, yeah.
Yeah, they'll let us know,
They'll tell
but it's
us.
like on the,
Right.
yeah.
Anyway, no, I have not. And if I did make South Park props, so they have to be done on a construction paper, even though South Park isn't made out of construction paper
Cardboard.
anymore.
Cardstock.
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 Hey, Copyright Cobra. Really, copyright? Yeah, I'm reading that. Copyright Cobra. Nice. Hello, Odin from Wales. And by the way, cheers to the Welsh impersonation in the last video. Keep it up. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that someone who actually knows the native tongue wasn't upset with my impersonation of it. there was a slight little tinge in the back of my head of, boy, I hope I don't piss anybody off, but no, the Murloc speak apparently apparently that worked out really well.
There's that.
Hey, Jaden from Discord's here. Sweet. I will double check Discord in just a second. I set up a Discord just for my patrons, right? So to kind of talk with them a little more, let them talk to each other more, but specifically just to get questions in, because it's pretty easy to miss them in the flow of the normal chat of one of the live streams.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it in the last couple of weeks because I've been behind on getting my helmets done. Not only did World of Warcraft become a bigger challenge than anticipated, then like there's this whole American holiday last week, followed immediately by me having to help the creator of Beyond Geek move some equipment because a mutual friend was shutting down his studio, so we went and picked up a sound booth and had to move that. Over-designed, heavy. I didn't think lead was what you usually use for making a sound booth soundproof, but apparently this guy did.
That is effective.
It is effective. It wasn't lead. I just think it was a...
Bomb-proof.
Kind of. In a way, kind of.
Soundproof.
In order to get a single pane of soundproof glass, so you actually had a glass window looking into this booth. It's only 4 foot by 6 foot, right? It's not a huge little room, but it's big enough.
Yeah.
They bought a bulletproof window. Which, okay, sure, that's effectively plywood glass. It's multiple layers put together. I could see that being sound deadening, but you can just have 2 layers with...
Air.
Yeah, or void between it. You put a full
Air
vacuum.
is an amazing insulator.
Yeah, that's all you need to do. But no, literally, bulletproof glass. The only part that's bulletproof, the rest of it's like plywood and probably carpet padding and wouldn't really be bulletproof. But
Which was the circle you used?
I used that one. The one you just, isn't it? No, I used the small one. Look at the size of the vinyl. Oh, it's looking for the back because we forced the thing through it.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a sample one before I did it on these ones because...
Yeah, it should be, yeah, it's that one.
Alright, cool. Just want to do a sample.
Sure. And yeah, usually you want to do
Isn't
that.
there...
You want to put the thing in it?
I don't know. I've never actually used these. You did
Okay.
it last time.
Oh,
I'm
that's
assuming
true.
you just stab it.
All right. You can stab it and twist it. It's usually better to do it on top of another piece of foam so you don't dull it as quickly.
Well, I just need to practice one. And I
Right.
did.
So this thing's got the target, so you can be a little more
Precise.
yeah, if you care. And then the spinning, doing it by hand on thicker material, I've had it tilt and I get snaky holes. This really makes it work.
Makes a difference.
Really, but it all depends on what you're after.
I'm doing a practice hole.
Yep.
So
It all depends on what you're after.
that's all I need. Although I do need a hammer.
There's a few of them over there.
Just a few.
So we're gonna be hammering some grommets. So if the dogs aren't barking, you'll
I'll hammer over here.
what's the Beatles song with Hammer Time or Hammersmith? The Hammer Time. By the way, I'm in the middle of trying to write Wednesday's episode. It's currently being painted, so I can't bring it on set. But I'm making a Mandalorian helmet, and because of Turkey Day, because of helping with Sound Booth, I didn't get started until midday Saturday on a Mandalorian helmet. So last night I was writing it. The script is 4 pages. That's a pretty full script. My wife is upstairs working on that portion right now, but I still need to finish painting it so I can get it out on Wednesday. Kind of normal, not really. I don't like to be that late. That's what later than I want to be, but that's...
Keep doing it.
I keep doing it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Which helmet is it? The exact same helmet William Shakespeare just did. Because great minds think alike. No, because a new character came out and everyone wants to make the helmet. Nicole, I will tell Joe that you said hi.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah, there you go. Joe says hi. As he very gingerly walks behind the camera. Because he's awesome.
I tried.
Jeff from 3D Model says, Odin, Felicia, how are you?
Good, thank you.
And glad to see you. Good, thank you. Yes. Doing well. Tired, but, doing well. Did it to myself. Music Video Freak is saying I should make Odin's armor. Hey, that's Joe. That is a plan. I want to make Odin's armor. It's just Mechagodzilla is more important to me right now. But that is kind of a long-term, eventual type goal.
Okay.
Make a Grimlock head. The cantankerous kaiju. But who is Joe?
That's Joe. Where'd Joe go?
Where did Joe go? You don't know Joe? Yo, Joe. No. Joe is one of my best friends I've known. So I'm going to talk about two Joes really quick. So there's Joe, who we're talking about right now, who is one of my best friends, and I've known Joe for 18 years, somewhere in that area. My wife originally met him when they were playing Pokemon in the mall. Anyway, we both worked in comic shops, both big model geeks and board game geeks, and so many similar interests that we're basically best friends. And he's constantly in the shop. He does a lot of painting. He does a lot of building. He was the one that wore the Gundam suit. So if you really want to see who he was, go look at any one of the Gundam videos. That's Joe. He helped me with doing the the Lich King helmet and the Goku hair, which is up here. All right, which I can't get down quickly enough to be funny. Anyway, that's Joe. Now, there's another Joe. Joe, I've known 26 years, 26 years.
Is this?
And this is Joe who created Beyond Geek.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he's the one I helped on Friday with moving the sound booth. So I've known Joe since '94 when we first made his first silent film called 9 Items or Less. If you look real hard, you can find it. I've done a number of projects with him, including Beyond Geek, which is a geek show that's on, ran on PBS. I think it's out of contract now, but it's still on Amazon if you want to see it.
Cool. So,
Hi.
bit of an issue.
Okay. Do I need to stop talking?
No. I just was doing test ones, and this piece sucks.
Oh, that's not too surprising.
This piece is great because it's metal. This piece is plastic.
And it just mashes.
It just does not do its job.
Well, it could have been part of the... No.
No.
There was more problem than that last week. All of my stuff is pretty much in there. Is that where the snaps are and everything else?
Yeah.
So I don't... The only other thing of this I might have is...
Because I've used, like, the wood. But with this style, it's not working enough. But anyways. I need this, but that.
Right. No.
So you guys know what's going on is,
I'm pretty caught up.
in order to do the grommets, you need a top piece and a bottom piece to make it the right shape. Otherwise, you're going to get nice jagged edges that'll cut you. And this piece is plastic, so it's nice and jaggedy and it's not doing its job. But this piece is metal and does its job amazing. So if they were both metal, we'd be good. But this is plastic. And that's my rant.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And the problem, all of a sudden, we have a whole new permanent problem. All the metal ones I have are for 3/4 inch grommets you can use with tarpaulin.
Yeah, no, it's not the right size.
No.
That's
Even this, I'm not sure if it's a no. That's a piece, but it's not going to work.
no.
These are all the. How many times have I bought one of these silly packages?
They're even too small for this. Anyways, do you think this will work? It's supposed to do it, and it has a curved surface to it.
Right. Well, this is for doing the decorative side of snaps, right?
Right.
So we can do it. I'll just have to get a new one for doing snaps because we're going to scar the hell out of it.
Screwed this, but I don't even know if that's going to work.
Right.
Because look how janky these all turned out. This one turned out the best, but I did it over wood, and it's all stuck.
It's got wood in it.
And it's all jagged, and it's
man.
jagged, and this one's probably the best, but it's jagged on this side.
Oh wow.
You need a good one of these.
You know,
This needs.
I didn't read the thing well
Here,
enough
show people.
because I'm so used to. There isn't a super close one to this week. I'm sorry, I was.
It's okay, but camera 4?
Camera 4. That's the overhead. Yeah, with the microphone still because I haven't moved it yet.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not gonna.
Enjoy the microphone.
Enjoy the microphone. No, that probably sounds great in the mic.
You're welcome. Anyways,
I apologize. I don't have a close-up camera set up today. Can you? You can't see anything. It's a circle.
Yeah, there's circles, but this I want this out of metal.
Okay.
That's what I want. Where's the camera? There's the camera.
Right. I'll let you do that. I'll try and put the other lens on
It's
camera 2 so we can actually show something with detail.
Who needs detail? But yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyways, the right tools make the job a whole lot easier.
As a prop builder, detail is usually the main thing.
Well, there's Bruno in your foot.
Hey.
Is he eating the blanket again?
I'm
Oh,
not
well.
giving him attention.
Hi. Okay, well, I'll say hi to people. What are you guys saying? Odin, are you still friends with Smosh?
Effectively, yes. It's been a while since I've tried contacting any of them, but the director that we worked with, I have talked to him recently, and I would say that I am still friends with Ryan. I did email Anthony out of the blue a few years ago. It was actually a work question, but he was very nice, responded, and did the very pleasant, hey, how are things going? So.
Yeah. I saw them all last year at their big 14-year anniversary, but, this year is their 15-year anniversary. Yay! It was this last month.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, 15 years. Crazy, right?
Right?
But congratulations. Okay, let's see. What else are people saying? I'm interested in seeing who finished their cosplay builds first. Your Mega Godzilla versus my Gundam. It's slow for me since I work full time, but I'm currently on the body right now. Well,
it's
good
slow
luck.
for me because I'm only doing a section, one section a month. So I don't know.
You have a chance.
You have a chance.
Fighting chance.
I've got a plan for this week, My Hero Academia. Next week, I'm going to start working on the upper chest and neck for Mechagodzilla. So how does that work? Can you show off your... Is that too bright?
Okay, well this is the
that
piece
blown out?
that is plastic and it's all banged up because it needs to be metal to do its job
Okay.
effectively. And this is the top piece that goes with it that is metal. And see how it has that curve? That's supposed to shape our grommets as we squish them and not make them jaggedy, so. Wrong tool. Right tool. But we need them both to be metal. Who are you calling?
Thank you. There's no message. We'll just try back. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, is the head of the household there? I never quite got around to saying,
No, they're all.
We're all dead. But that's what I was thinking, so sorry I interrupted you.
No worries. I'm just still complaining about the plastic piece. That's
You
all.
should be complaining about the plastic piece. Some of these scars
Are just from.
are from the very first time I tried to do it 2 weeks ago. Because it's a plastic piece. They should all be metal. We're hammering metal with a metal object to hammer. It should be something that's gonna...
This is what it needs to be, but the right size.
But this size.
So close.
We can order those. They're not gonna be here.
For next week.
Or the week after, depending on
Hi, Toby.
how quickly things show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have much luck with grommets today.
Again, huh?
Right?
Right. All right.
Well, I was.
Nope. Jerry Rig props. Don't have much luck with grommets to you guys. Nope.
Nope.
So.
Oh, dang.
All right.
Other than that, it would destroy your piece if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to try it.
Go ahead and I can order another one from Tandy, or even it's a set, whatever. It's not like I haven't got 8,000 of. That goes to that. Me keeping my caps and parts together.
Yeah.
Weird that way sometimes.
No, that's
Alrighty,
how
what
you
do we got
not
here?
lose things. There we go.
So one of the few Patreon messages I had before the stream started was an Amazon link to some PLA filament that didn't appear to be on sale. So that was... Thanks, Patrick! Was that intentional? Don't get it. He's apologizing here about saying it's the wrong group chat. Is everyone enjoying the third person, yeah, I'm sure you're not.
All right, ready? Well, it's not the worst. Let me try it on the other side.
Okay. I've actually got two building type questions in my Discord from different people. First one's from Jaden L, who also happens to be in the live stream chat, so you guys can go razz Jaden if you need to. Jaden is asking a good question of, here's a question. If Plastidip seems to run on a heat-sealed foam piece, which it does, it can, what would you do to try and smooth it back out again? I tried sanding the Plastidip and it just tore a little.
It would. It's plastic to
But it did
peels.
smooth out with another coat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
which-
see adding to it, like sculpting or adding it on to cover that seam, because you start to take off, you're starting to make a more gritty.
Right, and
And peel
Plastidip's
it'll-
designed to peel off, so that you get that. Plastidip is actually self-solvent. The chemical that's in it that makes it liquidy will re-liquefy older Plastidip, and it happens to be the same solvent that contact cement is primarily made with. So Plastidip will actually open up a contact cement seam that's under pressure. So you've got a good curve, and you hit it with Plastidip, it'll start to open up again. Just a little bit, because there's not a lot going on.
A layer of contact cement above it before you Plastidip it? Would that help with that? Or would it
It might.
same issue?
Same issue. You could do a little
Okay.
bit of white glue, maybe some sort of other barrier.
Barrier that's
Just a
not going
thin
to
one.
dissolve in the
Yeah,
sink?
if you have a real critical, like the front of Cobra Commander's helmet type of thing.
Okay, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
bang.
Oh my god, the whole instrument's ruined. No, it's not.
It's not the right tool.
It's not the right tool. What
No,
did it do?
it just doesn't do it quite right.
No.
Nope.
Is this?
That's the right tool. This is the wrong tool.
So this is the right tool for this side, right?
Yeah.
Can we just make the grommets flat? Use the other side of that?
Well,
And
this is
use-
me doing it on switching sides. So this
But-
is with this way on top,
Oh, okay.
and this is with this way on top.
Oh, okay.
So it screws up.
It screws up either way.
because they're not both the right tool.
Gotcha.
So it's just not the right tool for the job, so it's not gonna do
All right.
as much as I want to make it work.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Progress would be awesome. Burn it. Burn it. Fire.
This wouldn't burn.
That's all plastic. This would burn.
Right? Okay. Well, anyways.
Actually, I'm not sure. EVA foam should be flammable.
Wouldn't it be melt? We could do a flame test.
We could. Probably shouldn't do that inside. I imagine this would, because I feel like this has got a good rubber content to it.
But
because the way
there's-
it smells when you're sanding it.
There's the different flammabilities. Is it flame when you hold it in the flame and it extinguishes it when it comes out, or is it flammable when you take it out of the fire, it still burns on its own?
Oh, fair enough.
Because wool is self-extinguishing, where it's not non-flammable.
Right.
Does that
I
make
have no idea. Yes.
So
And
anyways-
I'm sure that's a distinguishing factor for
We could burn
safety.
it.
We can burn it.
Let's burn it.
Burn it.
Burn it. Burn it. Anyways.
Anyways, so Plastidip becomes a solvent for contact cement. Getting back to your question, when we were doing the feet for the Gundam, the Plastidip was too cold, or we held it too far away and it was drying in the air on the way there because it was summertime. One of those things. So it ended up with a popcorn sealing texture on the feet, which needed to have a bunch of water slide decals put on, which means it needs to be a really smooth surface for those model water slide decals to stick, or
Yeah.
they're just going to fall off.
Yeah.
Well, you can't sand it like like Jaden pointed out. I used, which one was it? Naphtha. Naphtha is the chemical I actually have. NAPHTHA, however you pronounce that. Xylene is another one. Xylol. Naphtha. There's another one I'm forgetting. They're actually listed on the cans as part of the solvents that are used. They're part of the Proposition 65 warning that, hey, it contains this chemical that'll instantly give you horrible non-mutant powers. Put on rubber gloves, put on an actual vapor mask respirator, even if you're outside, and get a paper towel, pour a load on the paper towel, and start wiping it down like you'd wipe down a countertop to clean it, or you use a wet nap cleaning rag to clean something, and you're literally sanding it. Because if you have enough of the chemical on there, it'll start smoothing out the upper surface and start spreading it out because it'll liquefy it and spread it with your motion. But then it dries so quick, I ended up getting a gloss finish on that popcorn feet doing that. And it was actually kind of rewarding and easy to do. And you can also remove a whole bunch of extra plastic if you got somewhere that you don't want. Obviously, you can't get it to come out of anything porous or fibrous, but have been able to remove Plastidip back down to EVA foam for the most part, doing that on one occasion when I felt like I needed to do it.
Yeah.
So-
Remember first time I tried Plastidip, I didn't realize that, and I tried rub.
Yeah.
Anyways, it all peeled right off.
Yeah, well, it'll totally peel off anything non-porous.
Yeah.
PVC, metal,
It was a pair of
cars.
shoes, I
it'll totally
think.
peel off. Yeah.
At Smosh, I just remember trying to get it, and you told me Plastidip, and
Uh-huh.
it sounded like a great idea, but then I ended up peeling, getting
It
that
just
pump.
peeled right off because I didn't know as much then. I'm sorry.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
It's the first time I ever used it, and I didn't realize stupid vinyl.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Right. So.
No, there's a whole group of people that will buy a Plastidip by the gallon in the states that sell it by that size, because California won't. And they'll literally spray their cars with it.
Okay, I can
it's,
see that.
Yeah, so it's a temporary paint job on the cars because you can peel it off. It would take work, but you can peel it off. And you can get pearlizer colors and everything else. And I swear I saw a Plastidip car the other day out here by Arden Fair Mall because it had that matte look. There's that kind of
The
shiny but kind of matte, kind of weird, not satin, flat color. That's Plastidip, and that's what this car had.
Well, that'll mess with the speed sensors
Oh, okay.
because the way they work is they have to bounce the light off of cars.
Oh.
And so black cars are less likely.
Oh, interesting.
And so the matte black.
So dirty black cars are less likely to be read by a speed laser. Okay.
Yeah, no, I have a little green truck that it always misreads because it's matte.
It's matte. It's all flat edges, so it goes
Right?
all sorts of weird directions.
Yeah, so it never reads it correctly. But so I suppose since that's not going to work, we might as well finish the back.
Are we back to just working with this stuff and talking for 2 hours?
Well, we still have the belting and we still
Right.
have the girdle. So
Okay.
I just was wanting to get the grommets in because if we get the grommets in,
We can start doing something, right?
you could actually like see it together
Yeah.
because then you could put the shoulders on. You could it can be a piece.
Right.
So, but might as well get the girdle done and then
Okay.
it'll be a big one. Okay, what are people saying? It's crazy that you can Plastidip a car. You know, I did spray paint a car for a music video, and
Yeah.
I covered one in grass, and
Yes.
and,
And
that one car that we used as a costume. Oh my gosh, cars!
it's a costume.
You helped me remember that car that was.
Oh, the seat?
Yeah,
Okay.
like he was dressed up as a whole car seat.
Okay.
It was, anyways.
Right.
Remember that pain in the ass. Thank
Not
you.
as well as you. You're welcome.
No, but yeah, that was one of those more difficult ones that I probably couldn't have done on my own. But yes.
It's all good.
So, wow.
One of the
look
fun
at-
things with working at Smosh was the time limit.
Right?
One of the frustrating things working at Smosh was the time limit, but one of the fun things was the time limit because you had to come up with a solution and make it work, and then you were done with the dang project.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I never really, I can't say I never complained, but I never
Right.
bothered me that we always had that deadline because no matter what, as soon as I get the script, people be bugging. Like, I have phone
Right.
calls from people going, what about this? What about that? Like, all the times and emails. So
Right.
from the moment I get the script to when we're done shooting,
Till wrap, right?
people bug. Like, there's just always a question, something somebody
Uh-huh.
needs from me. And it's funny because other jobs, you don't talk to them till day of set, till the
Right.
shoot. No,
Right.
I have nothing
Oh,
to say.
I was the prop guy, right? So I had to know what set needed to be set up, and I needed to know what props were in the scene. More than once, I'll be nice, I won't say his name, the director of photography would come by and, what's the first scene we're doing? It's like, didn't you read the script? Didn't you look at the call sheet? And I'd tell him. And he'd go, oh, okay. Then you turn around with the voice of authority and tell the grips how to set up the lights. It's great.
Yeah. So, fun times, right?
Fun times.
But that's why I
Definitely
didn't
fun
mind
times.
the turnaround because, you know,
Yeah.
because I was constantly being bothered.
Bombarded.
Bombarded.
Yeah.
That by the time it was done, it's over with it, moved on to the next one.
Right.
And, you know,
Things blur together.
Yeah,
I don't know
they
how
do.
many times they came to me. It's like on set doing something. We need the one that I remember. One of the first ones I did was they needed a sign for a nightclub they were going into, and because they had the set up, but it was a door. It didn't do anything, so they needed some sort of little simple sign. So I went, okay, just any nightclub. Yeah, just anything. All right. So I went and made this really bad foam cord sign. And it just said Backdoor Club, and that's all it was. And hung it up on the set. Everyone loved it. So they started coming to me for all sorts of product names.
right? I loved going through like those off-brand cereal chips and things
Right.
like that.
Now I'm seeing a yellow bar.
You've got a Lord Khan there.
Con! I can't do William Shatner.
Hi guys, love your work. Here's a little something for all your hard work. BTW, it's my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Con. Lord Con.
Lord Khan.
That's awesome. And thank you very much for your donation. That's a super chat donation, and we really appreciate it.
On cars, they also paint on top of the Plastidip as an undercoat to do easily changed jobs.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's literally what we're doing with cosplay is the Plastidip's the primer undercoat for the foam.
And Mythbusters disproved all radiator myths. Seems the speedometer is not accurate rather than the radar. Okay, so they did an episode on Mythbusters about the colors of the cars.
Oh, that the color didn't matter. Well, it depends on the speedometer. Because my understanding, my assumption was that you're talking about laser, which will be light, and that would kind of make sense. But if they're using any other type of speedometer,
The
not gonna matter.
Mythbusters disproved all radar myths.
Oh,
Seems
radar,
the
okay.
speedometer is not accurate rather than the radar. Yeah, so it's more
so-
likely that I have a janky speedometer.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I had an old Volvo that often would say it was doing 95, and that seems pretty suspect. I kind of doubt that a 1979 Volvo was doing 95, even downhill.
Right. Actually, my little truck can get some speed going.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just bad mouthing my car, not yours.
No, I know. I'm just saying but yeah. We're going this direction.
I see another little blue pop up at the top there. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the screen from here.
Oh, Matthew Bailey. He donated, and he says, what's the worst build you two had to do?
The worst build we had to do for Smosh?
I'm going to say that car, just because it was so damn hard. But anyways.
It was either the car or it was the superhero costume that had to fly apart like Iron Man.
Yeah, the magnets.
The magnets, which kind of worked, but because of the time frame and over ambition on both of our parts to begin with, we ended up having minimal time, and it was put together with paperboard.
I had 18 superheroes.
You had 18, that's right, you did.
18 superheroes to build, and that one was supposed to be an original.
Right. Well, everything kind of had to be somewhat original. Well,
They were based off of other superheroes, most of them, but
Most
there
of them.
were a few that I had to come up with specifically generic random ones.
Right.
And that was one of those ones that I had to come with a whole new superhero design from scratch, and it had to rip apart and...
Can I push your box a little bit that way?
Yes, I need more
Thank
box
you.
anyways.
Oh, good, yeah. I'm sort of standing half on, half off, and starting to be...
Yeah.
I've switched feet. Anyway,
You're
yeah.
over.
So either the car or that superhero costume, and
You helped me with both of those.
I helped you with both of those.
Those were ridiculously stupid hard
And
for
both
no
of those
reason.
were later episodes because they both had all the full cast. Because Shane
Yeah.
was a superhero and Keith was the car, or was Noah the car?
Shane was the car
Shane was the car too.
because he was blending in, like he was hiding everywhere and just popping up.
Okay.
I don't remember the whole episode.
Shane's a freaking trooper.
He is.
Noah's talented.
They
and-
all are. In
Yeah,
their
they
own-
all are.
They have
And-
their own little strengths.
Yeah.
Each one, yeah. But Shane was the car, and he was also my superhero. And then that's the first time I used Warbler
Horbla, right?
for the female superhero because her
Yes.
outfit was supposed to be just
An armored bikini.
an army bikini. And
Armored, yeah.
it needed to hold its shape if you're like, look at this.
Look at this, right?
Yeah, anyways. But fun times, right?
Fun times.
So the car and that
The
superhero.
car and that superhero.
Yeah.
And there's at least one good scene in the behind the scenes for this particular episode of the superhero where Shane just starts walking and everything falls off. The superhero costume just falls off him and everybody's just laughing.
Yeah, but that's what it was supposed to do.
That's what it was supposed to do. It wasn't really a useful take, but it's funny.
Right? So, I'm glad you did over because now we don't have to worry about this.
Good. So I did a couple rows too many.
Yeah,
Good.
but
I just went until I ran out of pieces I had prepped.
no, it's good. I was just seeing the size, so it needs to get a little bit wider. I want to trim down the edges a little bit because this seems a little wider than the Witcher's. I think his is about right here.
Oh, so you're saying over lengthwise? Oh, I got to
Yeah.
cover this whole thing?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
more or less. Because reference
I
photo
totally misremembered.
misremembered.
Yep. remembered incorrectly, misremembered,
Well,
Mrs.-remembered? What's the right way to say
This
that?
is why I'm not supposed to work on this not without a reference photo, because,
Well, it's not like I wasted
remember
time, I
things.
just stopped.
see? You guys can't see, sorry.
No, I can barely see.
Yeah, but this is where,
Because of the front, yeah, so it needs to be a little wider for the front
just
piece.
a little bit
Just a little
wider.
bit, okay.
And it's gonna get glued to this piece, so it's
Right.
too long, but
But
it
that's
just needs
okay.
a little wider.
Okay.
And the way he has it, I think can end up just selling this. The foam itself.
Just sewing the foam itself to the
Yeah.
vinyl?
Yeah,
Okay.
like, it's so simple there, like,
Well, yeah,
you think
it's-
that they did this with a computer,
you'd think.
Right?
And patterned it off of some sort of basic reference material,
right?
loosely based off of reality. There's a hint of reality.
Yeah, so, okay, I think
Just a small dose of seasoning.
I think I'm gonna take off about a ½ inch on either side, because there's 1/4 inch of seam allowance on either side, but I still think it's a little too wide.
That's why I was surprised that was the whole piece. I thought that was just a sheet.
No, this, believe it or not, is trimmed down to where it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing it now.
Yeah, now you can see that there's some,
Yeah.
it was this piece right here,
Okay.
this pattern piece. And this is just a little over half. But I still think this is a little too wide, and I want it
All right.
kind of to hourglass a little bit.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because it's not straight up and down. You want it to just kind of, it narrows at the waist, tapers at the waist, and then tapers back out at his hips. So, just a little bit. Okay, let me get out of the reference photo so we can
That's
see what
fine.
people are saying. Okay. So, why is Felicia standing on a box anyways? Because this is an awkward height to work at this table. And I prefer this height.
I specifically built the table to be my height, because a normal folding table or work table, like a dining room table, is what, 30 inches tall, and that's just a little too short to comfortably work on. Being in this position long term sucks. So I built this one up so I could stand normally, and that's where my hand held.
Yes, so Daniel Brooks, you are correct, because I'm short.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, shorter than me, I suppose, but whichever way you want to put it.
yeah.
Referencing it to me is certainly the right thing to do because I am me. What's happening with... Looks like Discord got excited because I actually acknowledged them.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Rodimus Prime says, what is your favorite helmet you've made and why? And hint, I know it's not Bumblebee. Right, Nicole? No, it's not Bumblebee. What is my favorite helmet I've made? Like ever? I have to look around because
Yeah.
none come right to mind.
You made too many?
I made a few. I make a lot of helmets. I like helmets. I like making helmets because I can make helmets that fit me. I actually have a problem. One size fits all baseball caps? Don't. One of my favorites is probably Ant-Man because I was surprised how well it turned out as far as the ones I've got behind me. And I like a lot of them. I really like Tech from the Bad Batch. I really like the Heavy Mando. I do ultimately really like the Lich King helmet, even though I was a little bit of a sourpuss in the beginning of it. And helmets you haven't seen, I, a long time ago for Burning Man, made a spacesuit where it was just a bubble helmet, kind of like the Nostromo, real simple and fanciful. I sewed the jumpsuit out of vinylized canvas drop cloth, so it kind of had what I thought was a spaceship look, even though it turns out they're just canvas on the outside. It's inner layers that make them airtight. But I had a bubble from an old school hairdryer that I attached to the neck of a 5-gallon bucket. And then about 1.5 inches down from the bottom of the neck of the bucket, I cut the bucket off. It wasn't even that big, maybe only been 1 inch. And then cut off the neck of another bucket, but cut it shorter. So that fit on me. So that was the collar of my jumpsuit, was one bucket. And the bottom of the other bucket was on the hair thing, so when you put the two of them together, they would kind of seal up. And it worked. And then that's what I walked around in at night at Burning Man with. And that was a helmet that I really enjoyed because it was a costume I made up, and it was a costume that worked. And it was a costume that was appreciated enough that somebody random at Burning Man gave me mushrooms for it. So
Nice.
I guess, I got a prize.
Yes. I like it when people notice and appreciate.
Yeah.
I'm just going to-
And sadly, no, I did not use the mushrooms. I didn't throw them away or anything, but there was someone else back at camp who just the night before was not careful and lost his mushrooms out in the playa somewhere. Playa is the name of the desert. So I came back with a huge grin on my face. Hey, you know what? The playa, take it. The playa gives right back. Here you go. And he was thrilled.
It's the same packaging.
Right.
Hey, this looks
It's
familiar.
a sandwich baggie. I don't know.
No, I know. I'm just
It's a fungus. I don't know what the heck it is.
right.
But that was definitely one of those things that there was someone appropriate and to give it to who needed it. So that's where it went.
Do you know where that hip curve is?
The hip curve is actually hanging on the wall.
It made it to the wall.
It made it to the wall, and it's going to make it in this week's video. Oh, hey, we got another blue bar. From Quiet One, 610. Would I consider making, well, I'm adding a word. Would I consider the Mandalorian armor? So if I was to answer this literally, I consider it a very awesome set of costume. It looks great. Would I consider making Mandalorian armor? Yeah, I could consider it. I know a few people have done a couple of tutorials on it. Most of us are just doing helmets.
Helmets are your thing.
Helmets are my thing, yeah. It's really kind of funny. I don't do a lot of body stuff on my show.
Well, you do props.
Yeah, that's true.
Props and costumes, they go along together, but they aren't the same.
They aren't the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, obviously it's not, yeah! But, yeah, it's Mandalorian armor looks really cool. So yeah, I can consider it. I will say it's not on the list right now. I was listing off what I'm planning on doing here in a little bit, but yeah.
So yes, you would consider it.
Yes, I would consider it.
It's on the mythical list.
It is on the Mythosaur list. Yes.
Okay. I feel like there's not running out of content.
No, there's not. There's even when nothing came out in the theaters to speak of.
You didn't run
There's so much new content anyway from other platforms. I actually paid for and watched that Love and Monsters that came out, which was a monster apocalypse, where you have the two young lovers that are just really starting to get together, and monsters are so the monster apocalypse happens. Right, 95% of the people die. There's oversized, loosely based on reality monsters running over the planet, and they're all hiding in bunkers, and they're 80 miles apart. So after a few years, well, actually, it takes him a while. It isn't like he waited. He finally figures out where she is and realizes that she's only 80 miles away. And so the movie is a story of him going over land, which you don't do, to get to her. And it was actually a pretty good movie. It was a little self-discovery movie, and it went in some very predictable directions. And it had some very unpredictable things that happened. That was kind of nice.
Welcome to living in the future.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
Our consuming habits are changing, that's for sure. Odin Makes and Felicia. I'm going to make boots out of EVA for my pyramid head cosplay, and I was
Sweet.
covering it with a cheap leathery material. What would you guys suggest? Okay, so do you want to keep the boots nice afterwards, or are they being sacrificed to the project? Because that affects the way you go.
Right. Are you just taking like a pair of Vans or some other slip-on shoe and making a boot covering that goes over them?
Are you making a boot cover? Because I've seen a lot of great boot covers out of leather and vinyl.
Right.
Or
It's just a
are
fancy spat that just got elastic in the bottom.
Yeah. Or there is the, well, I just recently recovered a pair of shoes, so I have experience
Right.
doing this. And I would suggest sanding. Definitely sanding your vinyl, because there's no gluing to that stuff. There's no drying on that stuff. There's no working with that stuff. And if you just expose the underlayer.
Now, I haven't tried
Fabric.
it, but Punished Props, Brittany on Punished Props found a vinyl glue that she used to glue together, of all things, an inflatable boot. Yeah. And at the moment, I still covet any kind of adhesive that'll work on vinyl.
Right?
That's exciting. I haven't gotten a hold of it because it's still not easy to use from the way it sounds like when she was talking about it.
Okay, well, the shoes that I made, they were vinyl, but I sanded them, and I
Right.
just used a spray adhesive, and it stuck. Well, well
Okay.
for me.
Right.
So I sanded the shoe. I did not do it to a slick surface.
Cool.
But yes, if you're going to make it permanent, sand the surface. Don't actually glue to the vinyl itself.
Right.
But then most glues work. Spray glue worked for me. But
And-
boot covers are amazing.
Boot covers are amazing. The next big problem you're going to have with the vinyl is doing anything to color it. If you want to do anything to weather it, if you want to do anything to slightly change it from the generic brown that it is that you probably found and purchased. Although you may have found really good stuff. I don't want to knock the vinyl you got. Auto part stores, auto body stores
Yes.
sell a vinyl spray paint. It is specifically formulated to spray onto the vinyl seats of older cars. I don't even know if they make vinyl seats anymore. And she's going to go grab one of my cans. This is one of the most wonderfully toxic spray paints. Here, hit number 2. This this is, of course, also... no, actually, this one's fairly recent, isn't it? This one isn't the 90s.
Yeah, no, this one was bought for a project fairly recently.
This is some of the... Sorry. Is it blurry?
Little
My eyes are blurry anyway without my glasses, so I'm horrible at focusing cameras. The most wonderfully toxic spray paint you're ever going to get a hold of. All the things I listed earlier for removing Plastidip, yeah, I think this stuff laughs at those chemicals as if they're like, kid play. But it dries on vinyl, and it sticks because it's made to be sat on in a hot car, so it totally works. And what's nice, she's probably about to say this too, it works as a primer. You apply that to
Yes.
the vinyl, and then you can use normal spray paint
Over
or
the top of
acrylics
it.
or anything else over on top of it, and they'll actually dry. If you haven't tried using just cheap standard spray paint on vinyl, I just want to save you some heartache. It's never going to dry.
Yeah, we
Ever.
made Kiss boots that never, ever
Ever
dried.
dried.
The way we got them to dry was that, and then also baby powder.
Right, baby powder can help absorb whatever the sticky is, but it's just it's the wrong path to go down. It's almost more work to fix it than to trash it and start over. Yeah. No matter how complicated your boots were, it's almost more work.
Okay, so they said boot covers that'll just cover my normal shoes. Okay,
Okay.
that's easy peasy.
Yeah, that's nice.
So then it's just doing the shape of the boot out of the vinyl and stitching it together. Yeah.
If you can get a hold of a pair of like Halloween boot covers, pirate boot covers, just
Steal their pattern.
steal their pattern.
Um.
There's no shame in that. I've done
Also, you could do a duct
Got it.
tape pattern.
yeah.
Because if you cover your shoes that you're going to cover with duct tape and aluminum foil, and then
or
you
saran
have
wrap. Yeah.
cut it in half, and then you have the shape of the shoe, draw up the thing. Anyways.
Yeah, you draw your seam lines that you want.
Yeah.
Totally, that'll totally work, and is actually a traditional method for making shoes. You would wrap someone's foot with a sock, and then wrap it with something. I don't know, saran wrap, aluminum foil, burlap, whatever, and then not burlap, something thinner, canvas, cotton, and then duct tape. Because duct tape's a traditional medieval tool, right? And
Yeah.
it's a way of getting your right shoe size for making leather shoes.
Or you put your foot on the leather and you trace around, and then you cut off with the seam.
There you go. Oh, there was this great video. I had a friend that actually went and had it done in Kenya. This is in the 90s when he did it. And then I saw a video for it years later. Guys that would make, they called them 10,000-mile sandals.
Okay.
They were old tires. They
I
were
had some of
non-radial.
those at the Decades.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had the tire shoot, the
Yeah.
sandals. Yeah, we had them from the 70s.
Okay.
And we rented those out for Roman soldiers all the
All
time.
the time.
And they were the best. And
Yeah.
the tires never wore. Like,
No, you can't. You don't have enough aggressive on them. But you can't do it with current tires because they're all steel belted here in the States.
I think they were steel.
Oh, that's amazing if they
Like,
cut
I
steel.
think
Because
they-
the Kenyan ones, they were just rubber. Because
Like,
the guy
I
was
remember
sharpening a
them
knife
being
and just go
rubber,
for it.
but I think. But yes, I know exactly those sandals. I've worked with them.
Of course you have. I have not touched a pair.
But yes, I've always wanted to make them after seeing those, and the steel in the tires has been an issue.
But my friend Kevin, not a Kevin you've ever met,
Okay.
was telling me he was amazed because he's like, sure, I'll get a pair. And so the guy comes over, looks at his feet, kind of glances a little bit, nods, then goes over and fully makes the sandals and comes back and gives it to him, and they fit. Here's a guy that knows what he's doing.
Right? There we go. We got a front and a back.
Cool. Was that the question that came by that had the color bar? Because someone else used Super Chat.
No, that one was under it. Hi everyone, hope you are doing well and love the videos, builds. I have bad anxiety and watch your videos to calm myself down.
Oh.
Much love from England, and that's Aaron Walters.
Well, thank you, Aaron Walters. What were you
Yeah,
going to say?
thank you. Like,
Yeah.
I have anxiety too. I understand.
Yeah,
Yes.
fully understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Glad we can help, and thank you for trying to help us too. And well, you did actually help us too. I shouldn't say try. You very much succeeded.
1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more of this size.
Okay. Well, almost done pulling apart 2 pages. I really should start knitting too. Yeah, I know. This takes a lot less attention.
Right? It takes a lot of time. It's not.
It does.
Just. Actually, I've been using a crochet hook
Oh, okay.
to loop, loop, loop.
Yeah.
I know it's knitting, but
No. It's
but yeah, that's
crochet
been
hook would
my
totally
little.
work. I use a carpet looming hook. You know, you ever use the
Yeah,
yeah? I use that when I made my fursuit.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't have that little crochet hook. Doesn't have the extra latch to.
Right, which would make it easier
Yeah.
because the extra latch was a pain in the butt. That's all I had.
Right.
And it was a Wookiee suit. I wasn't making a fursuit. For those of you who went that direction, not that I care, but it's actually something I've talked about doing behind the scenes in the show was to recreate my the Wookiee outfit that I made. You can find it online if you look up. There's a band called the Groovy Ghoulies, and the song is "Running with Bigfoot." This is a video I shot with Joe Gillis, the friend that I've had since '94. Let's bring a subject back from the first 15 minutes of this live broadcast. He and I went out to the mountains here in Northern California with the band, the Groovy Ghoulies, all 3 of them, and the song is just Running with Bigfoot, yeah. And I got to be Bigfoot because I made this Wookiee suit that fit me, and I quickly made a pair of lifts that went onto an old pair of combat boots that had big Bigfoot toes on the front of it, and it was just my head with my real hair. That's my real long hair in that video. That I just let down, and for whatever reason, I was wearing white contacts because I look different. You know, I probably look a little too freaky
A
for
good
Bigfoot.
excuse to have them and use them.
Yeah, just I was excited to have them, so I used them. And, you know, this is I don't know 2000. When do we shoot this video? It probably says in the description. But that was fun. That was a fun day, running around with the band in the hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dressed up as
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Back to cryptozoids.
I went whitewater rafting up in Bigfoot country. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I always was teasing that I was with Bigfoot because my friend I was going with, he was 6'7".
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And his whole family was like, the shortest one was 6 foot.
Right.
The little guy.
Yeah, sounds like the guy that cast my head, Alan. He's like the runt of the family at 6'4".
Yeah. So it was over at the Trinity River over in Bigfoot country, and that's what I always kind of think of.
There's a Bigfoot museum on 5. I'm not sure
Up
where
north
now.
or no?
Up north.
Yeah, because up north is where Bigfoot country is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same Joe was super excited to stop at that. Yeah, we were just coming back from Arcadia from the Grand Kinetic Championship, the human powered machine race. So yeah, can't be that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Northern
Neat
California.
little gift shop museum. And the shirt I'm wearing today is not only Fallout 76, but this is the Flatwoods Monster Museum, because the Flatwoods Monster from West Virginia makes an appearance in Fallout 76. So the Flatwoods Monster Museum in West Virginia sent me a care package full of stuff because we made the Fallout suit.
Oh, nice.
And they're super excited. And so this is the second Flatwood Monster shirt that I wore. This is actually how it looked in the game, as opposed to how it actually traditionally looks, according to...
I really like
well,
that
according to
color.
fact, because, you know, the Flatwoods Monster is totally real. It's got to be real, because it's more fun to think that it's real.
I really did like that costume. I like the way that turned out.
Yeah, it did. I did too.
I like how easily you could just add foam to fabric, and all of a sudden it looks like, whoa, there's some dimension.
Right? All right, I probably should pay attention to Discord, because those nice people are actually directly supporting me. And hey, look, it's 1 o'clock. We are now
Already?
1 hour. Yeah, already. We're now 1 hour into our live stream. Our goal is to go for 2 hours, so we've got a minimum of another hour to go. But since it's the traditional top of the hour, let's do the whole, hey, let's pretend we're on radio. Thank you for tuning in to the Odin Makes live stream. And today we're working on the Witcher costume. What we're doing is the basic, generic vanilla starting costume that Geralt. Was it?
Geralt.
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 I only ever read it, and
I know, it's a word you
I'm
learn
a
from
sight
reading.
reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the basic one he starts the game with, the vanilla one. And it all started because of this foam chainmail that got sent to us from the Foam Armory. This was the inspiration to do the costume because it seemed like the right one to do. And we've been working on it only during the live streams.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Nothing goes on behind the scenes. There's no major pieces get touched. We're doing all this live in front of you so you get a good idea on how long this actually takes to happen when you're distracted and talking to all of your friends. Because that's the best part of the live stream, is having all of you talk to us and ask us questions, and it's the interaction. Even though realistically, if you look at it, I'm just talking to a camera, right?
Right? It's
Yeah.
just a little thing.
It's just a little thing over there. But it's like talking on the phone. I know you're on the other side, and I know you're hearing me, and then you respond, and it's really freaking cool. So thank you for joining us. We're going to keep going for another hour. Toby and Bruno are both right behind us because that's where the space heater is. And we're going to keep going.
They really are, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. They're right up against my ankles. I can't move. Well, I can, but
Nope, you can't.
I don't want to disturb a sleeping dog.
Nope. Odin coughed. He has the Rona. Run!
Odin's been talking for an
Right.
hour.
Right. It's.
It's
Hope
okay.
you guys
So
are all safe out there.
yes. Is anyone else excited that this particular year is the year that CBS All Access is going to do a remake of The Stand from Stephen King?
I don't know that one.
It was his first 800-page book, which was actually cut down from 1,000 pages, and it's the story of a supervirus that wipes out 98% of the people.
Yeah.
It's a super flu. They actually called it Captain Trips. It was
Didn't
one of the
they
names.
have like a book called Contagion where they outlined what would happen,
Yeah.
except for it was a slightly less deadly virus than what we actually got, and it went a little crazier than we.
Yep.
But they,
Yeah. No, Contagion actually is played out fairly factually based on how Americans actually responded to coronavirus. And Contagion was a good movie. And it was
Yeah.
from what I understand, it's a good book. I haven't read it. I read The Stand. I liked the original miniseries. I'm excited to see the new one because it's going to be longer. And while longer doesn't necessarily mean better, it does mean they can spend more time on stuff. So,
makes a difference.
yeah. We know longer doesn't necessarily mean better because, yeah, anyway.
Okay, so I am trying to figure out where we're at real quick.
Yeah, you do that. I'm going to look at Discord.
That goes that way, that goes that way, and then this goes here, and these go here. Okay, that should be 1, 2. This isn't a piece. That's 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got a left, we got a right, we got a front, and we got a back. Center front, center back, side seam, side front, side back. Okay. I am going to trim down these pieces slightly because I did them with the seam allowance, and I need to do the vinyl with the seam allowance, not the interfacing, which
Okay.
I'm using the foam for as an interfacing versus it's a building material.
It's
This
a building
stuff,
material.
This is solid,
It's foam, whatever.
right?
The people in Discord are being very nice and saying that they have a small bit of anxiety and nervousness with how close I get my videos done versus their published date. Trust me, yeah, there's anxiety there, and my wife's a real trooper, and they're saying they would be okay if I took a week or 2 off, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the support for doing that. The harsh reality that we learned from Smosh, and I have learned firsthand over the past 14 months now, you don't miss a week on YouTube. Missing a week on YouTube is going to set you back months.
That algorithm.
Yes, the algorithm. It's
the momentum.
The momentum. And I saw it with DIY Prop Shop, and they kept moving the publish date around. You know, they did it once, they did it twice, and they did it a couple more times, and I just had to ask, are you trying to kill the show? Because that's what networks do on broadcast. You want to kill a show, you start moving when it airs. All of a sudden, advertisers aren't getting the viewers that they want, and hey, the show got canceled.
You know, it's the rules of the game are changing.
They are.
It's a new game. It's
In that sense, it is, yeah.
it's kind of it's the same game.
It's the same game because...
You were doing this back in the 90s, live stream. It's the same game.
Well,
it's the,
yeah.
But
I was
it's a
comparing it
new
to
game.
broadcast TV.
No, I know, but broadcast versus
It was totally...
YouTube
I
versus...
guess...
Yeah.
I'm just thinking specifically with... I have a major concern with missing a week. I have a major concern with not releasing a video on time, on its week, on a regular basis, because we both worked for a very successful channel that did that for years. And they did it to such a point, they had more going on. It wasn't a how-to channel, right? But they did it to such a point that they had a 25-person crew for shooting, and they could afford to pay them all. So there's definitely something to be said for maintaining a schedule. What I need to do is do a couple of simpler things and somehow manage to get a week ahead again. Very briefly, about a year ago, I was a week ahead. And then I went to a con. And that was it. I haven't caught up since.
Yeah. So, we used to shoot 2 days a week, every other week.
Right.
Yeah. To get the content ahead so we could
Yeah.
have a buffer of time.
Have a buffer. And then around this time of the year, sometimes they would shoot 3 episodes in a week. So it was like an extra shoot day or 2 extra long days.
By the time they were moving, we were doing 5 days a week. It started out at a normal schedule,
sort of.
and it ended up at a crazy...
Right, and that normal schedule, I remember that normal schedule where
Yeah.
you'd have 2 scripts for Smosh. One would take place in built sets that were on the studio, and the other one would take place in the Smosh house because that didn't require any extra work. So you had a art-heavy script, and you had an art-light script, speaking from being from art department, and wardrobe is basically art department as well. When you're doing a script that's dialogue funny, and it's just the guys in their streetwear, they can dress themselves, I assume. You probably still dress them. But I would imagine that's a lot easier than putting together all the pirates for the Assassin's Creed pirate music video.
It's different. Honestly, they're just different beasts.
Okay.
They're different beasts. But yeah, we started out with just Ian and Anthony.
Right.
And they probably have the same outfit on for the whole video, maybe have 1 or 2 costume changes, to having a full, 5?
Having a five-person cast, not counting if...
Ian, Anthony, Keith, Noah, Shane, Courtney, Olivia. So it was a 7-people cast.
Right, okay. That was
And-
regulars.
That were regulars, plus anybody who was...
Because Finnerty would show up on occasion, and...
Yeah,
like, rarely, but he did.
but most of the time it was crew that got sent into
Right.
the shot. So if we did a crowd or we had an extra person, oftentimes I played dress up and jumped in.
Right.
Happened all the time. You see the back of my left arm.
Right.
So a lot of,
I was very rarely, but I got to a couple times.
so it was like the 7 regular people plus cast and crew and backgrounds, and sometimes I was dressing people all dressed up myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it started out pretty normal and tame, and it ended up being something just crazy. Remember 18 superheroes, one
Right.
script?
One
Yeah.
script, yeah. I remember 17 sets for one shooting week. Yeah. Inside of a studio that's not much bigger than the one we're in now. It was bigger, but...
Yeah, it's about the same size. Because they had Studio A and Studio B,
Right.
it's here.
Yeah, I think this room's 20 by 30. I think Studio A was 30 by 40. So it's a bit bigger, but still,
Yeah.
it was a lot of little sets and sets that had to fit inside of other sets in order to make 17 setups to be
Right.
used in 2 days. And they all had to be done before you started because there was no time to do anything once you started.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
I need more now.
I see another yellow box. Put my eyeballs on. Connor Dees. Oh, thank you, Connor. Who is your favorite Star Wars character, and would you ever consider making a blaster rifle? Okay, those would seem totally separate. I have made blaster rifles. Now, you're probably specifically asking if I would make an E11 web blaster, right? Beyond Geek was asking if I would. I haven't yet. I'd be happy to. Is it an E11 web? No, I think web's part of it. It's just an E11. The Stormtrooper blaster. I may be mixing up my terminology. I've made the Mandalorian's Ambin Phase Pulse rifle. I've made Han Solo's DL-44. I've made Ray's staff. That's not really a blaster. I think that's it for blasters, isn't it? Would I ever consider making more? Yeah, I would. The hardest thing with blasters, although blasters are great, they're guns. And getting back to the whole YouTube beast, they hate guns. So when I put out a video like the Doom Super Shotgun, right? You look at it. it's not a real gun. It's pretty freaking obvious. This isn't a real firearm. It was totally restricted, monetized, and because sensitivity of advertisers, and it wasn't pushed. One of the things YouTube does is it will suggest videos to viewers. Hey, you like this video? Maybe you'll like this one too. Well, if something is restricted, monetized because it has, heaven forbid, a gun in it, those videos don't get suggested until they make a certain massive threshold where we may as well suggest it because it's got 40 million views anyway. And being a prop guy, part of the rules for this is you can't show making a gun. You can't show making these different things. They don't want to show making real firearms, but they wrote it so loosely, and they have one little catch in there, even fake guns. Yeah, and so
They just no bueno.
it's a week's worth. Imagine going to work for a week and not getting paid, and that's kind of what making gun videos are like. Blasters, because it's a blaster, doesn't seem to happen. It's nice. The terminology is what you got to play with because it's a bot, right? That's looking at it. So a Star Wars blaster is probably pretty darn safe. The Mandalorian blaster.
But you're still.
But I wouldn't. People are always asking, make the Call of Duty over under thingy, whatever. That's like, yeah, that'd be great. I don't want to work for free.
Yeah.
In fact, that would just be a loss because I had to buy all the materials to do it. So that's why I haven't done modern firearms. I mean, I have. Oddly enough, that sawed-off shotgun, the one I did my first year, survived. It's never... They even... At one point, I had to recertify all of my videos. And I was nervous doing that because I figured, oh, great, here it comes. Some of the ones that survived in the past aren't going to be any good anymore. That shotgun went right through again. And it's more real than the Doom shotgun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
YouTube algorithm.
YouTube algorithm.
Okay, let's see what people are saying.
Oh, what was my favorite Star Wars character? That's tough. I like a lot of different ones for different things. I like the way different characters look. I like the way different characters sound. It's going to be, like, I can look back through my life as to who's my favorite character. Like, when I was a kid, it was all about Chewbacca. I made a Chewbacca costume. So maybe it still is kind of, but I mean, it's not the one about Chewie. You know, I always just really enjoyed the basic Stormtrooper as well. I think that's one of the things, it's simple, it's one of the things that really sells The Mandalorian for me, is it's the time frame that's my favorite. The standard Stormtroopers are the Stormtroopers. I love the variants when they first came out in the 80s. I love the Snowtrooper. I love the Scout Trooper because it was something new. 30, 40 years later, I miss the classic troopers. I'm so happy to see them again.
They really went new Stormtrooper every video. Though.
Every movie, something new came out. And there's this design thing that happened in the 90s and the 2000s where everything starts to look like, you know, sleek and iPod and whatever else. So the new Stormtroopers really didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Oddly enough. I think it was because they weren't clunky enough.
Right, they were too sleek and
Yeah.
too pretty. Oh, I don't know how to say that.
You don't know how to say that? Well, just make it up. They'll correct you. I have my glasses on.
Oh, it's in Russian.
I can't speak. I can't read Cyrillic.
No, I can't. I don't even know what the noise to make for their symbols. Like,
Well, they're primarily Latin-based. It shouldn't be that hard to make the noises, but...
I don't know the alphabet at all,
Yeah,
so I couldn't if I tried.
Is it... that wasn't a super chat thing. That's just...
No, it's just somebody saying a thing.
But we acknowledge your comment, and thank you very much.
There you go.
Yeah. I really enjoy seeing all the different languages that do pop up in the comments of the videos. I, for a few years now, have tried to have multilingual captions all throughout the comments. Hey, look, it's a blanket.
Yeah.
Multilingual captions.
Well, they're over here now, so.
Yeah. So we'll translate the closed captions into up to 19 different languages. It usually runs right around 11. But that actually came in the shot, didn't it? Yeah. Nope, it didn't.
What didn't?
Oh, the dogs almost knocked the camera over.
Oh, yeah. They're having
Anyway, it's neat to see comments that are in these languages that are put out, like Russian or
Yeah.
Arabic or none of the others are coming to mind. I know I've seen Portuguese and I know I've seen Greek, where I actually have to, Chinese and Japanese, where I actually have to Google translate them and then try to answer and hope that I'm not saying the wrong thing.
Yes.
But it feels good. It feels good to have a worldwide audience.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I saw there was somebody from Malaysia, and we got UK, and
Yeah, and some of these people, well, UK it's dinner time, right? It's 9 o'clock in the UK. Malaysia, it should be super early in the morning for them. It's hard to remember where the time zones fall.
right?
Yeah, exactly, Toby. You tell them. It's probably a weird shot. They kicked the camera.
They did.
It's a crazy Dutch angle Batman shot. Next week, Toby takes on Bruno with a bark fest. Will Bruno stand there and take it, or will he show Toby who's boss? Tune in next week for Two Dogs That'll Shut Up.
Well, Bruno's not taking that for an answer.
Nope, of course he isn't.
All right. Hey, you two, sit. Thank you. Good boys. Love that they just listen. Makes life so much easier.
Mostly.
Bruno doesn't, but Toby
Yeah,
does.
Toby takes it,
tries.
I'll listen today. Maybe.
Okay.
Now Toby's excited because someone's hammering in the shop outside.
Okay. This guy's saying, yeah, I watch a lot of your builds over and over due to YouTube suggesting it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you.
The algorithm gets me too.
Yeah. It's fun.
All done,
It's okay, Toby.
Toby,
It's-
all done. Come here.
Jesse's hammering outside. Jesse's,
It sounds like
Yeah.
excitement going on, but it's just banging,
it's just banging. It's,
knocking on doors. Yay.
I think Jesse's working on something. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, what were we saying now that we're distracted?
It's fun when my videos get suggested to me because I'm on a platform or computer that I'm not logged into.
Yeah.
So that's actually, wow, really?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I used to laugh at the videos and the algorithm when I worked at Smosh. Remember all those things we would always have to look up?
Oh gosh, yeah. All the crazy like Google stuff and
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
Amazon orders. I was like, this internet, what they think of me.
right. I'm so glad you guys are tracking my purchase trends because I'm all over the place.
Right? Oh my gosh, it used to make me laugh. Okay, so
Did I answer the Star Wars question?
hypothetically,
Yeah, I
you
did
would a superfan need to commission a YouTube unfriendly gun? So yes, ultimately, if you want something like that, that's probably the way it's going to get financed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Something else I'm finding out is when I do monetized videos, like last week's video, the World of Warcraft video, which is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. The sponsorship videos are really cool because it's a paycheck right up front. But YouTube, I think, sees the monetized video as a possible competitor for the ads they're going to place before the video. And so it doesn't get pushed. It's not as bad as not pushing a gun video, but if you go look at the numbers on the World of Warcraft helmet that I put out the week I believe that the expansion of the video game came out, it's pretty low for my channel. I don't really want to bitch about numbers because I know numbers are different for everyone, but my expectation was a lot higher for that video, but it's reduced because it's monetized. So we were actually kind of halfway joking, bitching at lunch over in order to do a monetized video, it needs to be a really big paycheck up front.
Yeah, but there are definitely ways to go about financing things that are non-traditional these days.
Oh, for sure.
So, different world, right?
Different world.
So today, every time Bruno barks, he's reading Toby's sweater. You were saying
Yes.
that, weren't you?
Where's my cue card? There it is. Bark.
Yes.
Raiders of the Lost Park.
Yes. Let's see. There's a lot of people here.
There's a lot of people here.
Oh, we got hello equals shalom. And I believe that looks like Hebrew
Oh,
to me.
yeah,
So,
that sounds like Hebrew.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yes. And then more languages I can't read. But
That's
by the
almost
way,
all
that
of
is
them for me.
Finnish. Finnish.
Kapla. Does that count?
Oisika. I at least will try and say hi in
Yeah.
everybody's language. You know, I could try hi. Hello. Hola, ¿cómo
Hola.
estás? Bien, tú.
I enjoy different languages. I'm horrible at them, but I enjoy the concept. I'm not afraid of them. I'm happy to try and talk with anybody.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun. I spent a month in the island of Crete on a World War II documentary production, and I don't speak Greek. So not only do I get to look at like the car rental form and kind of look it over while the director's looking at it, who's nice enough to show it to me because he didn't really know if I could read or not. I went, I don't know, it's all Greek to me.
You were just setting him up.
Oh, I
weren't
was
you?
totally setting him up. And the cameraman, who was someone else I've known forever, John Possa. It's actually his bandsaw. When you see the bandsaw in the video, the blue one, the gray one, the Delta, that's John Possa's bandsaw. Anyway, he just laughed and then looked at me and said, "I'm so glad you had the nerve to do it." And the rental guy thought it was funny. He hears it all the time. And apparently in Greece, they say it's all Chinese to them.
I could see that.
Yep.
That's an opposite. That's quite. Yeah. We got it's Hebrew, so yes, we got that right.
Okay.
And then we have try this one. Guten Abend aus Deutschland. I think that's German. Guten.
Yeah.
I
It's
thought it was
Guten is
Guten Tag.
greetings or hello. Yeah, I don't know.
but I don't know if it's that
the
morning, night,
suffix.
or evening, or
And Deutschland is Germany.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest.
yeah.
What was that? What was that app with the green owl? The Duolingo app. I was using that for a while, trying to learn some Spanish, and I did okay reading it for a while.
Reading Spanish is a lot easier to me
Yeah.
than actually, like, if I
I'm
see it printed,
Printed?
sorry.
Printed, yes.
Printed, the vowels always make the same noise. The I is always going to sound like E.
Okay.
The E is always going to go with the eh, and it starts at the back of your mouth and goes forward.
Okay.
E, o, u, and it always makes the same vowel noise, unlike English, where it depends on the orders, like things,
Time of day.
time of day, accent. None
Yeah.
of that changes. So when reading Spanish, it's easier to pronounce it correctly because I know how each of the letters are supposed to sound.
Okay.
But
And reading the. Okay, so Japanese is written in.
Kanji?
No, in a Latin alphabet, in a Romanized alphabet.
oh, thank you.
You're welcome. That's always been really nice because I know that each set of consonant vowel is pretty much a syllable. So it actually was like, oh, okay. It was kind of fun to see that. That's not 100% true, but 95% of the time, I'm going to wager, that's the way it worked out for me from my small observation. I thought that was neat.
That means good evening from Germany, so
Oh, cool.
we had it semi-right.
My son was telling me about Korean, how,
My dad speaks Korean, actually.
okay, he was teaching himself Korean.
Yeah.
Something to do with,
There's
now I'm going to say it wrong. We will change how the verb works, or we'll change how the noun works to fit the sentence, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way English flows. You don't do that. It's always the same. You know,
Yeah.
or again, the majority of the time. And so I thought that was kind of neat.
yeah.
Because again, it sounds simpler. I know English is the worst mismatched language. You know, oh, we'll borrow from this, we'll borrow from that, and then we're going to make stuff up because people are starting to learn it, language of the planet. And yeah, even though I'm a native speaker, I'm horrible. Wait, did I just run out?
Did you?
With the 3 pages that I pulled? Yeah. I should just
Okay.
start knitting. Ah, got black spots.
It's the plague. You're not saving those ones for Mega Godzilla?
I mixed them. I've got it.
You have
Got
enough?
here. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I will save more in the future. Today, I'm not.
No worries, I don't judge.
Thank you.
So you're going to start the back?
Yep. I'll just start the next one.
Okay, so let's see.
So half was too much. So you want to do like...
Okay, so hi. Hi, Odin and Felicia. I just got out of school. This is easily the best part of my day. Well, good job. Stay in school because school is cool.
Sweet. Who was that?
That was Carter Smith.
Carter Smith. Excellent.
And then, how do you store your unused foam? You have a shelf.
I personally have a shelf. I dedicated shop space to making a large flat storage shelf, much like you would store art prints in just big oversized drawers. They can kind of be flat. I did that. I've seen most people leave it as in a rolled up until they need it, because you can just use a heat gun with a small amount of effort, and you can roll it back out flat again. So
Yeah, you gotta love heat and steam. Steam will get out the creases and wrinkles out of a lot of foam, like bust cups and bras and those things. When you feel like you've ruined the cup, you can steam it out. So, yay steam.
Yay steam.
With foam. Okay, so we got a high, and then foam chains is great, but FYI, I found out that taking the point of a paper clip on the unseparated sheet works better than trying to punch them out after you take it apart. Yeah, I could see that working, where you just kind of poke them out with the paper clip.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like you just kind of got to get yourself set up and get grooving.
William Shakespeare just crumpled it up really quick, and everything fell out. When I tried that last week, I broke it.
Yeah, you ripped it.
I was a little overexcited about.
I know, it was supposed to be easier than it really
It's supposed
was.
to be easy and funny, and
Yeah, but good tip.
Yes, thank you.
Um,
This takes a little bit of getting used to. What's happening in Discord? No, I'm not just checking my phone and being a horrible host. I'm actually trying to interact with my patrons who have direct access when I look at it.
right.
Boy, Rodimus, who's definitely one of the more vocal people. Odin, what's your favorite movie? I've got a catch for this, because it's easily a movie I've seen a lot, and it's a movie that I can easily sit down and finish watching every time it comes on if I happen to walk by it. And of all things, it's Tremors. I freaking love Tremors.
You do talk about Tremors.
I do talk about Tremors. I like the Graboids because they're big rubber monsters. I like the Stranded Out in the Wilderness because it's a shark movie on land. And then Val and Earl and all the characters, wow, I'm forgetting the characters. Anyway, I love the movie. That's probably my favorite movie. Of all things, it should be like science fiction or whatever, right? Which science monster movie kind of is. But that one just really worked for me.
Okay.
Jerry Rig Prop says, I know the answer to that, the big smiley face. Oh, what was it? Was it The Fog? He talked about that. Okay, I love The Fog too. All the early John Carpenter movies are fantastic. And the original Fog was great. That was one of the first like ghost horror movies I got my wife to watch, and she loved it. It is totally a slow movie by today's audience standards, so don't go into that thinking you're going to get wowed, because you're not. But it's a great movie. It really is. It's fun. One of the things they did, because the effects are pre-digital, they're zombie pirates that arrive in the fog, right? Because they want their zombie pirate revenge. There's your plot. When they did the makeup, aside from having like little moving worms that were coming out of the because you barely see them, they're all silhouette. They would take little pieces of brass and set that within the makeup so it looked like they had holes going through them. Because you get a shiny bit of brass shining light back to the camera, it becomes a point of light.
Yeah.
It's actually the same way they lit up the windows on the original 3-foot Star Destroyers for the first Star Wars. It wasn't internally lit. It had bright polished pieces of brass that the studio lights would reflect off of to make it look like it was lit up.
That's a lot of thinking on somebody's part.
But it works.
Right?
So yeah, no, Fog was great. I enjoyed Christine. It's kind of a trashy movie, but it's a Stephen King book, so it was a John Carpenter movie. Firestarter was great. The Thing, I freaking love The Thing. Another monster movie. I like a lot of monster movies. One of the reasons I like Star Wars is there's a bunch of monsters in it. So Godzilla, that's why I watched 11 Monsters. It's a monster movie.
Monsters.
Monsters. They were mutated insects, but whatever. They were monsters.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the scariest monster of all the Disney villains was Cinderella's stepmother.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, those kind of monsters scare me. But yeah. Okay, what are people saying? Have you ever tried to make the creature space mask from Black Lagoon?
I have not tried to make the creature from the Black Lagoon, although I do like the creature, definitely. I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore creature fan, but I do like the creature a lot, and there's a lot of major innovation and firsts in those movies. First underwater 3D. I think the first creature movie was one of the first movies that was actually shot underwater. And a lot of it was done in Florida, same place as they ended up doing mermaid stuff later. Oh, no, but the creature's awesome. It's a rubber monster.
Vicious dog attack.
Bark. Let's run back to
So what are they saying?
my peeps. Well, I tell you, let Odin answer it. What's a favorite fast food chain? Oh, that changes all the time.
Wendy's for me. Junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Currently, I'm going to Carl's Jr. a lot because they have the spicy double Western bacon cheeseburger. Not that I need the double, but I get that. But it's the pepper jack cheese with jalapenos, and I like that a lot.
They just have been asking for us to say that over and over again, with threatening saying not nice things will happen if we don't.
Say what? Let me walk over here so I can actually see it.
See, right there?
MLA 31.7?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is this supposed to be my favorite food
Oh,
or something?
right here.
Totally not.
Say it, or James Charles will haunt you in your dreams.
Who? James Charles? For all I know, James Charles is already haunting me in my dreams. I like hot wings. I like boneless hot wings because I don't much care eating around bones. It's a lot of effort and a lot of mess. So that's kind of what that is. I would totally love to be on the hot wing show. The hot ones, first we feast. It's
Oh,
the
yeah,
progressively
where they
hotter.
eat the hot-
Oh yeah. Oh, thinking about it's giving my mouth the water again. I like hot, spicy food, and yeah, I haven't ordered the hot sauce from that channel, but I should. So let's talk about.
Toby!
I think it's the zipper.
Yeah, he gets jealous when I put clothes on Bruno. He always tries to take off Bruno's clothes or
But-
his sweater, and that's what. Yeah, Bruno's getting out of the sweater. Toby gets jelly.
Yeah.
He does. And Bruno lost his sweater.
Okay, well, Rodimus, I kind of briefly answered that a minute ago. It's my favorite fast food menu item. There you go. That also changes because there'll become a time when I will get tired of it and I will go somewhere else. But
My
'cause
guilty pleasure-
Unfortunately, I eat out a lot.
Right?
Yeah.
Gotta mix it up. My guilty pleasure is the tacos from Jack in the Box. The
Oh,
2
okay.
for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are so nasty, but I love them.
Right. No, I hear you.
I love them.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like Jim Boyce is really good. No, that's that's actually a Sacramento chain initially.
Yeah, but they have every Jim Boyce has a different taco day. So
Oh, really?
Sundays, there's one down the street from me that's Sundays, and then the other one is Mondays. So
Okay.
Sundays, Jim Boyce is kind of my taco treat because they have $1.25 tacos, ground beef,
Gotcha.
and I get about 10 of them.
Sure.
But anyways, yeah, Jim Boyce is pretty good. Yay, food.
Yay, food.
Okay.
Coming up next after the live stream, food. No, I just had Thanksgiving leftovers before, so I'm good. I'm not gonna go do that. Oh no, I think I just panicked. I was doing okay.
Oh, he
The
says,
first couple rows are rough because it's really quick to think you've done it wrong.
right, you kind of have to get going, and then if you have a
What is this?
smooth side and a bumpy side, it means you've done it correctly.
Right, your knit and pearl.
Camera
You're
too.
telling me?
Yeah, the knit side. Where's the camera? Right there.
It's that camera up there.
There.
See it? Your focus is way back
Back
about the edge of the table.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we have the knit side, and then we have the pearl side. So once you get going, it's easy to see if you're doing it correctly. But yeah.
Yeah.
So. Aw, somebody misses Wendy's or Jack in the Box. Those are my 2 favorite.
I was laughing when I went out, not quite back east, but I was road trip to Middle America, Midwest, and
White Castle?
it's not quite. I had White Castle. They're interesting. Wouldn't rank them as a favorite. Carl's Jr. is a West Coast chain,
Yeah, it's
And
called
Hardee's.
Hardee's.
and they still have Happy Star, and there's actually more Hardee's than there are Carl's Jr.'s as far as locations.
Yeah,
but
they're East Coast.
They're East Coast up to like the Rockies. They're,
Yeah, they kind of mesh in the middle,
Okay, I believe that.
where there are some states who have both. I watched a YouTube video about it.
I bet you did. I was just enjoying the fact that the Western bacon cheeseburger is my favorite. It's the barbecue, onion rings, bacon
Right?
burger. Hardee's doesn't have one at all. Nothing even close. What they do have is like the Carl's Jr. version of the ultimate cheeseburger from Jack in the Box, which is much better. I think the Carl's version is
But
better.
I like the onion rings.
Oh no, well yeah, I like the onion rings and the Western bacon. And I remember, kind of trying to ask the poor employee who could really care
You
less
just
about
put
my
onion
humor.
rings? No.
Don't you even have like a Midwestern bacon cheeseburger? It just they didn't appreciate it. They're like, dude, I'm getting paid,
Minimum
25 cents an
wage
hour.
here.
Could you just order and go away?
Right. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Can't say I blame them at all.
Yeah.
And then previously, like last week or the week before, one of the big questions in Discord was, "What's your Subway order?" The spicy Italian. What do I want on it? I don't know. I remember when I'm there because it's visual.
I like the meatball sub.
Okay.
Although their Philly cheesesteak was pretty good last time I had it. But those aren't all, you can't always
Yeah.
trust.
No,
No. But it's hard to mess up a meatball sandwich.
I believe that. Oh, Jaden says Christine is actually one of his and his dad's favorite movies. Laugh out loud.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Christine worked. It isn't a stellar movie at all, but it totally worked. It's great. I know the haunted car. I read the book, so I was thrilled when the movie came out. So Cujo comes out, the book. I grew up with a Saint Bernard, so all of a sudden here's this monster Saint Bernard on the cover of a book. My first Stephen King book. I read that. Then the movie comes out. Yeah, all right. But then I started watching all the other Stephen King movies, a lot of which are, yeah, all right, that came out afterwards. And Christine was definitely one of the ones that I thought worked, and I really enjoyed it as a movie. Possessed car fixes itself, which again, you get practical effects of a car that's been in an accident that is then on screen fixing itself. And some of it is reverse photography, and some of it is vinyl or rubber parts that are inflating, and all sorts of tricks to get it to go together.
But fun to be art department on that one, right?
Yeah, like the only bad is when they reverse footage on breaking glass and it all just flies back together. And it's like, yeah, it's really easy to tell when that was done. But realistically, how else are you going to do it? The breaking glass, Ghostbusters 2, when the Statue of Liberty steps, is it Ghostbusters 2 or is it Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? I think it was Ghostbusters 2, when the Statue of Liberty steps on a taxi cab. So the Statue of Liberty is a big rubber suit like a Godzilla suit, right? You got a person in the suit walking around. And so they've got these 1/10 scale cars that are on the road, and she steps on a taxi cab, and the windows all break out on the model, right? You see all those little bits of glass that come flying out as it gets crushed. Well, it's just like a lead foil or aluminum foil car body that's made to crush, and all the paint flakes off because that's what happens. To make the glass break, there was actually a tube or a straw under the stage, and they literally had a PA down there with margarita salt. And there's your glass breaking out of the model.
Oh, I love being that PA. Can you just stand here and flicker lights for us?
Yeah. Or the
Hold
guy
us at
that's,
the right moment.
his job was to smoke a cigar underneath Jabba the Hutt so it would trickle out the side of his mouth.
I was gonna
Because
say,
there was like 7 puppeteers, and one of them smoked a cigar.
we had to do that one gag of a lot of smoke coming out of the room for the pot store for Zelda game.
Right?
And we couldn't get quite enough smoke built up to have that visual gag.
Right. Hot room, yep.
And I think I vaguely remember, I think it was Phil, I'm not 100%, with his vape pen.
Oh, yeah. You would.
But, yeah, fun times.
By the way, thank you, Phil. It doesn't come around as much anymore, but the "he's the man" almost meme that Smosh used, talking about me being art director on, the time traveling pickup artist. I think it was the first time it appeared. That was totally a Phil thing. Because the guys just were saying it, and so then he made this thing. And, that was awesome. Especially with because DIY Prop Shop was concurrent with those videos being out. And people would say it all the time on DIY Prop Shop.
I think Phil is one of those unsung heroes on set, quiet behind the scenes, but that's was his job. He was behind the scenes.
He was literally behind the scenes, yeah.
And he was the guy who was always getting those candid moments, and then...
Yeah. And then he would be the one that would write, edit, and assemble the video after the fact at home. it would get approved, but it was totally a Phil thing.
Yeah, I actually liked watching that better than some of the episodes.
Yeah.
But that's because, you know, like I'm a little jaded. I like the behind the scenes and laughing
Right.
at the jokes that we were laughing at on set, and yeah.
Reliving the moments.
So, I did enjoy that. Okay, I have been ignoring the chat, but
It's all right. I've been trying to talk.
that's okay. Somebody asked, what breed is Bruno? He is a dachshund, little wiener dog. Toby is some kind of a pit bull. I don't know.
Pit
I say
bull.
he's a mutt because it's easier.
He's a mutt. He's got pit bull in him for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
Part of it is also the pit bull temperament, because most pit bulls are just little sweethearts.
Yeah, and then Bruno, he's the little wiener dog.
Yeah.
Little butt. Hold on one second.
What else is happening in the chat? I'll check Discord again here in a second. Hardee's in the Kansas City metro area has the Carl's Jr. menu. Oh, really? That's awesome. Yes, peanut butter and jelly burger is amazing. Lee! Oh, hey, he's in Sacramento. Hey, Lee, he's a Patreon, too. Yes, who was it? Hamburger Mary's had a peanut butter cheeseburger. And
I had that and I didn't like it. Did
I
you have
loved it.
You liked it?
Yeah, it's like this joke in the Twilight Zone, the original 80s movie, where it's peanut butter, it's good. No, it's actually good. I think it's good.
Okay, because
I've actually
I don't remember what it tastes like, but I remember Crazy Mary's having it.
Right. It tastes like a cheeseburger with peanut butter on it. So if you don't like peanut butter, it's not going to work.
Bruno hates peanut butter. Have you ever met a dog that doesn't like peanut butter?
One. I've also had a spicy pepperoni peanut butter pizza. And it's actually really good too. And now it's not the best pizza joint, John's Incredible Pizza, but it is my favorite pizza that they make.
I don't know. I feel like pizza, you have to be careful with, because cheeseburger pizza tastes like a cheeseburger,
Yeah.
but it's wrong.
Yeah, because it's a pizza. I can agree with that. Cheeseburger pizza doesn't excite me. A lot of the taco pizzas don't excite me.
Yeah. Dessert pizzas aren't my thing, but I do like pineapple on my pizza.
I can do dessert pizza because I understand that's
Bread with sugar.
It's cinnamon toast.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They mix the peanut butter in with the red sauce, and it's spicy.
Wonder if it's like a mole. Anyways, that just...
Yeah. Oh, it works for me,
Yes.
and I totally get it.
Oh, their hound dog doesn't like peanut butter either.
Oh, no, that's two.
Yeah. Well, if I don't want... So,
It would
Toby...
suck if your dog had a peanut allergy.
Oh, right. Well, Bruno doesn't like to share toys with Toby because Toby will destroy the toys and he will chew them up.
Toby does?
Toby destroys the toys, where Bruno will like play with the toys forever. So Bruno, anytime Toby gets a hold of toys, will be yelling at him, going, "He ruins it! He ruins it!"
Okay.
And then, yeah. So if I really want Toby to enjoy a toy, I will just fill it with peanut butter, and Bruno will leave it alone, and he will let Toby have his toy.
Okay.
But toys only
Like
last.
the Kongs or something? Or-
Yeah, but
okay.
Toby's toys only last like an hour at the max. He's a big dog.
He's a dog with a head designed to bite through steel.
So his toys don't last, and that's why Bruno doesn't share, and he knows this. And Bruno's toys will last forever, and Toby leaves Bruno's toys alone for the most part. But there hits a point where he's had it for a certain length of time, and he just is like, all right,
I'll
that
share.
one's chewed. So, but yeah.
Wow, it's quiet.
I know, I'm reading.
I can hear the clock tick on the side. I don't think you guys can hear the clock tick.
Huh.
But it's okay. It's just a
okay.
clock, and it ticks. Like
New
it's
York
supposed
or
to.
Chicago style pizza. I feel like those are two extremes. I like the middle.
Those are extremes.
Because New York
Yeah.
pizza is good in its context, and Chicago's in its context, but ultimately, I think I like the California style of pizza.
Well, the California-ized version of both those pizzas.
Yeah. Because I like
Okay, if I'm
Roma's.
going to actually sit down and eat it, New York pizza is designed, if correct me if I'm wrong here, as a walking down the sidewalk food. You get your slices, you fold them in half, it's now a pizza sandwich, and you eat it on the go on the sidewalk. Chicago is a freaking meal.
You eat it with a fork and a
You eat it
knife.
with a fork and a knife, like Zelda's downtown.
I thought theirs were like pie style pizza.
There are pie style pizza, but they're Chicago based. They're a little more extreme, but
Okay, because I don't consider them like any normal type of pizza. I feel like they're their own.
kind of are, but
Because
I
they
think
use
they
like
have
real
roots.
pie crust
Basically, yeah.
as their crust.
Yeah, you can't pick Zelda's pizza up.
No,
No.
like it is its own thing. I wouldn't have even called it pizza. It's a
Says-
pie.
It says
It's a
pizza on the
pie.
building.
I know, but I wouldn't define what they make as pizza, but it is good. But just personally.
But getting back to Lee's comment, I haven't had a peanut butter and jelly burger. It's always just been peanut butter. Because all of a sudden it's like, yeah, talking about Sacramento stuff. Oh yeah, Lee said something. Lee's one of those fun patrons that I've actually met, and one of the first patrons I actually met at a SacCon. So he's got a distinction. Thank you. And then I believe he's got is it a podcast? Lee, I'm going to say the wrong thing, and I'm so sorry. He's got his own channel. He's got his own thing that he's doing out of Sacramento, and I don't think it's necessarily YouTube. And we talked a long time about me appearing on his show. It just never happened. But I'll say publicly, I'm still cool to do it. So whenever we want to arrange that, Lee, just like I've currently got a standing invitation to be on Netheads, the Will Wilkins podcast.
Yeah.
So.
But welcome to the coronavirus.
Yeah, welcome to the coronavirus.
Hope y'all
I'm
are
going to
staying
sit in my
safe.
room with a camera pointed at me, and you can, yeah,
Stay away from most people as much as possible. Yeah.
right. We can just add the little NASA beep at the end of every communication back and forth, and we just pretend like we're talking to space.
Happens.
Well, they've almost got the delay, or we do. To them, it's all instantaneous, but to us, there's a delay because I say something, it gets encoded, it runs out, you finally see it on your
It
end.
goes to space.
It goes to space, it comes back. You type away in the chat program, it goes to space and comes back faster. But there's definitely a delay on our side between what we're saying and what you're seeing. It's all relative. Okay.
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
I think I need about 3 more rows.
All right.
I'm getting there though.
Yeah. We're going through it pretty quick. For the amount of times I spent tearing up strips, we're about out of strips again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it takes time to put this stuff together,
it does.
but not as much as having to form the.
No, not as much as actually doing it with lock washers. So I've made chainmail with lock washers and a pair of washers where you're just closing the washers back up. If you can get a hold of 10 millimeter lock washers, it works really, really well. That takes a lot of time.
It just takes time
Yeah.
because you have to create the fabric
Yeah.
from string.
And I never got past that part. I made some big pieces of fabric, and the best thing that ever happened to one is it ran around the bottom of a helm. Because guess what? I worked on a helmet.
Johnny Flores is asking how we met.
Johnny Flores?
Johnny Flores, yeah.
I
You
know
know him?
Johnny, yeah. We met working on Smosh, which was a local YouTube channel here in Sacramento. Now I want to make sure I got the right name. Johnny Flores, you're the guy that used to be here in the building with us, right? I was on your show, your podcast, and if this is the Johnny I'm thinking of, everybody, he's the guy that's got the sword of Thundara. He's got the Thundercat sword. And if
Do
that's
I know
not the
him?
right Johnny, then dude, I'm sorry for mixing you up with somebody else. I don't know if you know him.
Okay. Just curious because there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
Super nice guy, though.
then Dan does junk asking,
Oh,
so
nice.
how's the grommets doing?
How's the Grommets doing? The Grommets! Go ahead.
The grommets are going to wait till next week.
Need to order parts, need to order tools.
Because remember how we were talking shit about the grommets, the hand squishers? What do you call those?
Yeah.
The clamp?
Do you want to get one of those?
No, I'm just saying we were talking crap about that, saying
Yeah.
that those don't work, so we had the two-piece
So we had the two pieces with a hammer.
hammer.
Right.
But then the bottom piece was made out of plastic and not metal, so therefore it got
It failed.
destroyed
Just
from
like-
hammering on it.
Right. Just like all the, every time I get one of those hand squeeze things, I always just, because they're never solid, right? The ones I get anyway, because they're cheap. They're just bent metal. So is this crushing enough? And then all of a sudden the handles are bent and it doesn't work anymore.
And then also, because you're working with the pair of scissors, they're coming down at angles. And it's not
Yeah.
coming flat down from top and bottom. You're
Right.
getting angles. And so then it squishes it more on one side than the other side, and you don't get a even squish.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I totally.
And that bothers me because then it's tilted, it's squished one side more than the other. And that is, anyways.
Yep.
So no, we shouldn't get one of those, but...
No. Now, I did see Golden Fastener, or whatever their website name. No, it's not Golden Showers. Golden Fastener, whoever it was. They have like an arbor press where it's got a big metal base with a neck that comes up, and you got a lever you pull that's got a straight action that goes up and down and crushes.
Because it has to
but
go
it's
straight
a
up
few
and down.
$100 and only does one size of grommet.
Right?
Because it's an industrial tool.
Well, if you're making the same thing over and over again, it's worth it.
Totally would be worth it.
Totally worth it, but not for
I'm
this
not going to
project.
pay for that for being a hobbyist.
Nope.
The only difference between me and any other hobbyist cosplayer is I'm actually making a little bit of money doing this. That's it. I'm a hobbyist.
Yeah.
So don't fool yourself. If you're into cosplay and you've got serious talent, that's something. Get a camera. Make a show.
Easier said than done.
It is. And there's a whole being comfortable on camera, which took me a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Even as it is now, I still get super self-conscious, afraid of a BS ego with what's become my catchphrase, and this is how Odin makes. Man, I felt so self-conscious and like, oh, whenever I said that, just massive cringe. I don't care anymore because I said it a few thousand times. But,
But yeah, no, I
Yeah.
feel it. I feel you. Yay we're doing something, so.
yeah,
Hey,
for
look,
doing
you're
something.
using his technique,
Yeah, and it's working pretty good.
right?
Especially
So
now
thank
that I'm
you.
not on the edge.
Okay.
It's definitely faster. Well, I don't know, it feels like it's faster because I can see progress, right?
All right, Jilly Willie is asking, what did you do for Smosh? They were like my first YouTube sub about a decade ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
about that, yeah.
They are 15 years old officially now, so
Yeah.
yes, it's been at least a decade. You were art department.
I was art department for a few years, yep.
Yeah, I started out as a PA, and then I was wardrobe department.
So art department meaning I would build sets, I'd build props, I would help design the weird things they needed or source the, what do you call it, vintage technology they wanted. That was fun. Hey, we got a week, I gotta go find a certain year of iPod. Good luck. I walked into the first thrift store. Oh, there it is. I want that.
Love it when it's that easy.
Yeah, oh man, that was amazing.
Right. We need this character we made about 15 years ago for this specific shirt.
Right. What'd you do for that?
Oh, we had the shirt.
Oh,
the
that's good,
original
okay.
one. But yeah, like there was definitely some sourcing of how are we going to recreate that shirt should anything happen to it.
Right.
But we thankfully didn't have to deal with that. There was no blood involved.
That's good.
Oh my gosh, my stomach would sink every time there's like blood in the script.
Oh, gotcha. I'm thinking blood like blood sacrifice, but you're
No,
actually talking
but-
about blood as a prop.
Yeah, like because anything we'd have to reset, and so do I have enough copies?
Right. Like the
11.
time that Ian's mom played the mailman. I still have a picture of that on my phone. I think. It might just be in my Google
love
Pictures.
Ian's mom.
Yeah,
She
but
is
she was
my
dead before, covered in blood.
favorite.
She was
Yeah.
great.
Oh my gosh! So one time
Hopefully
I was.
she still is great. I don't want to talk past tense. It was past tense because that was when I worked with her in the past.
No, she is great. One time
she's
I
still
was
going
playing
strong.
the stripper legs for one of the episodes.
Right.
And his mom was.
Doing the money thing, yep. If it's the one that, yeah.
Yeah, I love his mom. His mom is amazing. So yeah, we hang out at like the stuff together. Anyways,
Cool.
I like his mom. Anyways, let's see.
But yeah, she came in as a mailman. She had to die. She lay dead on the floor at the Smosh house for like 3 hours in the middle of this scattered mail. There was blood on the mail. There was
She
blood
was
on
a
her
trooper.
costume. And she stayed in the same position because, you know, you're supposed to be a body. You're supposed to stay that way until she had to leave and we were running over, in which case we got a body double to come in. I don't remember who exactly it was, but somebody else put the costume on. And that's why I've got, I don't think it was you. Was it you?
I don't know. It often was though.
I don't think it was you. I think there was the one girl that was only there for a few months. But I think it was her, but I could be very, very wrong.
I don't know.
But that's why I've got a picture of it on my phone, is I took a picture for continuity, so when the other person came in, they could kind of lay down in close enough to the same position. So for all the waist-up shots where you can't see her on the floor anyway, her position would match up. It's funny how often that happened.
Right?
These massive concern over having something that looked exactly right and had to be just exact and just this and just that. It was on screen for 23 frames.
Right?
I counted once. 23 frames. It's like, wow, that could have been a printout on a piece of cardboard.
All that work for 2 seconds. That's
Not
how I
even
feel
that.
like with music
23
videos.
frames is less than a second.
Yeah, that's what I feel like with music videos.
Right.
All of this work, and it has to be perfect, and
Right.
it needs to be this vintage 1970s microphone specifically.
Specifically.
And you see it for just a second.
Yep. Just that. Bing, gone. No, that's the nature of the beast. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not fair to complain about that, but it was just the grief that we were given over how important of a crutch that
It
this
needs to
set was
look
going to need to be.
perfect.
And then when you watch the edit, it could have been shot against a blank piece of paper. You know, the colored paper the photographers use. It didn't need to be more elaborate than that because that's the way it was edited. But, you know, they don't know that till the edit. And I swear, half the time we were making stuff to make everybody happy on set, not for the video.
Right? Set was more fun, honestly. It was. Okay, I think I'm going to do 2 more rows.
I'm sorry I wasted some, but I've almost got an empty sheet for you. What is that? Trichtophobia? What is that? The one that's the fear of holes?
I don't know.
There's a whole subreddit on it. It's fun.
Okay.
There's actually an SCP creature that's got a face like that to work off the fears. SCP Foundation. There's a fun cryptozoid thing, which it isn't, but it is, and I don't know. I like those. I like a lot of the older stories in that. Some of the newer ones are a little too fanboyish, but if that makes any sense, there's a quality of writing that's missing. But some of the older, they're monster stories. You know, they're
You
fun.
like monsters.
I do. SCP Foundation's kind of like a horror movie version of Men in Black.
Okay. Team Dub was asking, will all that chainmail stop you from getting so many flesh wounds?
No.
And Lucas Yah says, does that work?
Yeah, that totally works. You just got to put the effort in. What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Totally works.
yes, it works.
And as my friend Tim Walton would say, and that's how you make butter. That was just his catchphrase whenever someone would walk into the room and conversation would stop.
What did you, since I was 5 years old, how long have you been making foam for? I'm not 100% sure if I read that correctly.
Going off specifically the way you read it, there's a small bit of context missing. I don't know the current age, so I can't do the math. I've been making foam props for a long time. I've been making foam props since pretty much the late 80s for different things. My own amusement, silent movies, student movies, puppets.
Puppets are great out of foam.
Oh, yeah.
Polar Fleece was like
Yeah.
one of those,
Polar,
like Jim Henson inventions.
because that has 4-way kind of pull stretch, right?
Yeah, it has stretch and locked on both sides. It's a great material. Yeah, I made puppets that look like that one girl, remember?
Right.
The stripy ones?
Yeah, and you guys went to
Lots of
FAO
puppets.
Schwartz and bought out like the Muppet building kit or something. And
No, that was for Smosh. That was different.
oh, excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, no, I built puppets from scratch, but I've also used those kits.
Oh,
They're
okay.
different. But yes, we did a whole episode where Ian and Anthony were puppets.
Right.
That one was fun.
And that was before me because I remember moving those kits around in the prop room forever, but we used them maybe once on a Mr. Potato Head joke.
Yeah, but kind of because after we shot with puppets, everybody was like, never again.
Kind of like Team America.
Although I was all about it, and I did puppets a few times post then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Somebody's playing The Witcher right now.
Oh, cool. How accurate are we?
Are you wearing the right armor?
Did you toss a coin? Or no, that's only for Netflix, isn't it?
No, is
I don't think toss a coin your Witcher's in the game.
I don't.
I haven't played, so I don't know. I like the art. I like the characters.
Yeah. I was gonna start the book series.
And the dogs hate it when I whistle. Oi!
All done. Come in. Hello. exciting outside.
It is getting close to 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Our goal is to stream for 2 hours live every Monday, and we will definitely be back next week, hopefully doing more than just pulling apart foam chainmail. But this is at least something that makes it really easy to talk to you, which is the biggest thrill and the number one reason to do this. And it gives the dogs a chance to bark. So if you can hear me, I want to thank you all very much for coming in and joining us. I think we'll go ahead and take a couple more questions because I'm not really good at actually signing off at the right time. And just know that pretty quick here, we're going to wrap this up. And thank you all for hanging out with us this Monday for us afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like talking crafts with all y'all. Okay, somebody asked, what was your first job?
Burger King. 15 years old. I got the job because I rode there on a bike because I had a friend. All my friends were older in high school. I had a friend who had gotten a job at Burger King, and so I was admiring the stuff he was buying with his paychecks, which was all tiny. Because you think about the years that this was. But at Arden Fair Mall, not very far from here, that Burger King, and Burger King's still there. I worked one summer there, and that was my first job.
Oh, nice. First job, I just barely turned 13.
Okay.
I got a work permit in middle school.
All right.
Yeah, I was coaching gymnastics.
Right.
Doing the summer camps that were first while I
Good for
got
you.
my training hours in. And then I coached gymnastics all through high school and college. I did work a lot of jobs while I was doing that at the same time.
Okay.
I worked at the Sacramento County Office of Education, California High School Proficiency Exam Office, if that isn't a mouthful.
It is. It always has been.
Yeah.
It's part of the exam is being able to say it.
Can you pronounce this? Oh, look, it is the perfect size. I think we're good on this one.
Oh,
Do
wow.
the back one. But yeah, I was coaching gymnastics since I could work.
Since you could stand.
Since I could, yeah.
Not quite, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember getting a little work permit for that and everything.
Very cool.
Um,
Is there anything-
G-Man Fortress is in middle school. Good
Oh,
for you.
Sweet.
Yeah, don't get a job till you have to.
Yeah, don't get a job till you have to. Milk being young for as long as you can. I don't mean live in your parents' basement till you're 40.
Yes.
But there's the regret of being young and not being old enough to get to go and do what you want and not to have the money to get to do what you want. And then when you get old enough to do that, there's this huge regret over not being young enough to be able to sit at home and do what you want. Because trust me, lifelong, not being able to get to do what you want is a continuous thing. It's just how the responsibility for it changes. So enjoy what you've got while you've got it. Enjoy whatever stage of life you're in, where you're at it right now, because that's the stage you've got, and you may as well enjoy it.
Right?
If you're pissed off about where you are and you wish for either what's coming up or what has passed, you're going to miss what's going on right now, which for 2020 may not be that big of a deal,
Wow.
but still.
And G-Man Fortress, the person in middle school,
Oh,
is
yeah.
planning on being a fashion designer when they grow up and go to a good college.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
I fully support that. I went to college for fashion design, and this year I got a job, and I designed my first bridal dresses this year. So you can do it. I believe in you. It's fun. It's worth it. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend going to college for it. I know. I did it.
Right.
The debt's not worth it.
Right. So I worked as a video editor at the local PBS station, and constantly colleges with kids would come through, and they want to do a tour of the station. And they would always end up stopping at my edit room as like, this is how the edit station works, right? Because apparently they were happy to talk to me, and the other editors were frumpy. Love all you guys, if any of you are watching, but y'all frumpy. The sad thing is, it's like, well, how did you get into editing? It's like, well, I was a high school dropout, and I dropped out of college, and I took the long road, and I became an editor at 40. I mean, it's what do you want to tell students who are actually going to school to do this, who are actually getting degrees in what you're physically doing? But I got there because of the stuff that I've done and what I've taught myself, and it was such a long, convoluted road to go with no goal. You know, even a ship without a captain can possibly make port if the winds were right. Yeah, the winds were right. I got a job editing.
Right?
Right, sorry.
I don't know. University of YouTube's changed everything.
This is true.
I'm just saying the stuff that I learned in college, I could teach myself online now these days.
Okay.
So.
Yeah,
But
that's very
there's
true.
definitely a value to higher education, and I did
Absolutely.
get my bachelor's degree and associate's degree, and I worked my ass off for it, and I definitely know the ins and outs and took every damn class that I could.
Right. And there's huge
But-
things with getting degrees, like time management skills, deadline management skills that are beyond
just
what you've got.
Fact checking, knowing your
Yeah.
sources, like having access to correct source. Anyways,
All stuff I didn't get.
right. And then at the end of the day, it doesn't pay, like,
Right. At the end of the day, it's another bill.
right? So stay in school.
Yeah. Yep. I do
YouTube
not.
University.
YouTube
yes.
University. I personally do not have student debt, but my wife does, so I am paying off student loans, which is okay. I don't mind at all. I think it's
Wow.
awesome. She's going for a master's.
Monkey Business did a $50 donation.
Is that what that fuchsia one is?
Yeah, it says I'm gonna head out, but thanks y'all. It's great as always. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Monkey Business. I hope you're still here.
Well,
thank you very
yeah.
much.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Leanne says, if you don't recommend college for costume design, what's a good route to being a professional? Okay, so I would recommend costume shop, local costume shops. That's going to know everybody in town of who's doing what. You're going to, all the theater people go and rent costumes. Colleges. I was at a really good, oh, I'm getting a phone call. I was at a really good, costume shop, like the kind of the better one in the area. It no
yeah, it
longer
was.
exists, but people would come around from like the Bay Area specifically
Right.
to our costume shop.
But it doesn't exist because it
He
failed as a
retired.
business. He just retired.
Yeah, he retired,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to.
You didn't want to take it over. No.
Anyways,
we
but
talked about it briefly.
yeah, anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, local costume shop. That's how I got into Smosh. That's how I got
Right.
a lot of connections, commercials, TV commercials, charity events. So anything that has to do with costuming going on in the costuming world usually funnels through a costume shop. So, you know, not volunteering, but working a Halloween season can
Right.
really go far because, you know, you work a season or two and then all of a sudden you find yourself costuming and end up, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, you get to meet a lot of interesting people working at the costume shop.
I
I'm
bet.
like, I trust politicians.
Right. TV personalities.
TV personalities. I met your friend Rob on the road.
Right.
He was amazing. I loved him.
Oh,
But
yeah, he's
yes,
great.
So that's what I would recommend if you wanted to get into costume designs. Go where they're designing costumes. But yeah,
I've got no authority to add to this. I hung out with the theater people at community college. I didn't take any of the classes. Listen to her.
although I will admit,
Yeah.
working at the costume shop, I did not like theater costumers.
That's fine.
Like specifically theater costumers. They're a different breed than like.
It was a different
stage.
expectation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess. I could be very wrong.
No, I think most of the times I got they would get very focused on very like specific things. Like I need this sleeve for this time frame or era, you know.
Right. Because all the Shakespeare.
Hyper focused.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got on to all the other details were wrong, but the sleeve was correct.
'Cause that's- yeah.
Yeah, happened all the time. It was always theater costumers, but I love them. I did it all the time.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a different breed. Okay.
All right. We're now past 2:00. Let's see. Our time anyway, or wherever the hour may be where you are.
Okay. All those
Pet
little-
Cemetery, favorite scene, Kingfield. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Somebody's asking about all those little EVA foam discs to make fake rivets in other projects, or do you just throw them away?
I have definitely saved. This is the working on the second package now of tearing these apart, and I did go through and save all the round ones to be rivets, and I've used them. Where are you guys?
So yes.
On my Mecha Godzilla head, all of these rivets are these round things. They're all just super glued on.
Yeah.
Yep. And so they totally work.
Oh, look it right there. They're not even painted.
Well, there should be a couple ones. Oh no, the ones on the light aren't painted. No.
Yeah, those ones aren't even
Nope,
painted.
those aren't even painted.
They're just stuck directly from here. So,
So yeah, totally.
do you want watermelon seeds?
Do you want watermelon seeds?
They stink.
There's static cling problems. This particular pile, I'm not going to sort through. I've got so much here. I can pay attention later when I have more attention to give it. So I'm not worried about it right now.
Yeah, and just so for the answer, not all of them are perfect circles. Some of them have these little teardrop tips that make them
Right.
pointy, and that's what he sorts through so that those don't make it because they don't look like ribbons.
Right.
Oh, Ombre
They
Legos,
could, you know.
Legos did a $5 donation, so thank you.
Oh, really? Another donation? Sweet. Thank you. Ombre? Hombre? Friend?
Ombre,
Ombre? It's not hombre like
UM,
friend. Oh, okay, ombre.
Ombre. Yeah, we got it's
So-
10 p.m. in the UK, by the way,
Oh, okay.
and 5 in the afternoon for G-Man forces. So
For G-Man forces. All right.
yeah,
Is that Half-Life? Which is G-Man forces?
it's 2:00 in the afternoon. It's almost 2:15.
It is almost 2:15. We have officially ran over. Such is my weekly goal because I don't know. I really enjoy the live streams. I really enjoy that you come over and hang out. I know sometimes I'm crunched in the morning and I might be a little cranky. I don't think I was super cranky today. I was just tired and behind.
No, I came early with the dogs so that they could get their
And they
zoomies
did.
out.
And they got a lot of them out. They only almost knocked over one camera at once.
Just one camera.
Just one. It's all right. It's just the cameras I shoot with.
Right?
But I think it is an appropriate time to sign off.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I enjoy this. Next week, hopefully, it'll be a little more riveting.
Oh, yes, hopefully that's what you. So we're gonna have to go look at that up and order it like immediately.
Right? Just a little. The right tool helps you to do the job the right way.
Right.
It makes a difference.
And it doesn't have to be the expensive tool. It just needs to be the right tool.
Yes.
Yeah. So all of you, thank you all very much for the super chat donations. That is fantastic. Really appreciate all of that. Thank you everyone who's a patron. I know I say it all the time on the normal videos, but honestly, this show is possible and is happening.
Like you.
It is brought to you by viewers like it is happening because of the Patreon donations. Here comes the first of the month. I'm going to be able to pay my rent because of the patron. That's almost a 100% trade-off. And so thank you guys very much because that is a level of responsibility I probably couldn't do without. And with the way the house is at home, I wouldn't be able to do the show at home. It's not something I could do in my garage, at least not at the level that I'm doing it here for you now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
So thank you guys. And then to all the rest of you viewers who don't necessarily fit into those categories,
Thank you
I'm not
for
trying to
watching.
leave you out. You're damn important because viewership is what makes the channels work. And so the fact that all of you hung out, all of you are watching us now, all of you interacted or at least lurked, thank you. Trust me, I'm a lurker on Reddit. I get it. Thank you very much. We'll be back again next Monday if you want to catch Felicia anywhere up until then. You've got what social media again?
oh, I have an Instagram account and that's it.
Oh, okay. So that's at EESH_87.
Yeah, 87.
Yep. So Ish87 is her Instagram account. And who is that Joe guy? Well, aside from working in the corner, that's Next Grade Gunpla on Instagram. So you want to go give him a bad time, you're welcome to.
Oh, and Toby and Bruno have a Instagram account.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah, it's Toe Baby Gomez.
So it's Toby, but Toe Baby Gomez?
Toe Baby Gomez.
Okay. Great. So there we are. One big Instagram family. Thank you guys so much again. And, let's go ahead and sign off for real this time. We're going to let this be live replay. And I don't know, where's the button? I never know where the button is.
I feel like you have to.
Oh, okay, I'll do it.
You can click it.
There's many ways you can bark during a live stream, but this is how Bruno barks. Well, all of a sudden I forgot.